100 years, Rice Field has been the site where Elkhartans come out to watch high school football. It is that again tonight as we wrap up the regular season in Indiana with the new Prairie Cougars visiting the Elkhart Lions on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Alongside the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Angelo DiCarlo, it's Chuck Freebie. Great to have you with us for what should be an exciting night of Northern Indiana Conference football on 46. New Prairie, though, out of the conference race after a loss to Penn last week, and we're still a week away from sectionals, so it's 6-2. What's the motivation for Casey McKim's team tonight?
I think the biggest thing is they're coming in, they're playing the second week in a row a 6A team, and so that gives them the most motivation moving forward with a Bricky team next week that they have to play out of Hobart, that they're going to come in prepared because they're playing these bigger schools with a lot of talent, and I think that's the key for them moving forward.
And as Casey McKim told me, preparation leads to confidence.
You know, confidence is a really big thing, but confidence is built based on the work and effort that you've put in. So we want to see the rewards of that work we've put in. And so, yes, that usually shows up in the form of winning. But in the end, we want to play our best football, and that's all that matters. We take care of what the result's going to be by the actions that we take and the way we execute. So we take care of those things. We feel good about the results.
You mentioned Elkhart, now a big 6A school, and 3 years ago when they consolidated, everybody thought, oh, this is going to become the new power. Well, they come in here tonight with a record of 3-5, so what's going on?
I think the biggest thing, and we talked about it earlier in the season with this Elkhart team, is just coming together as a team. And I think that's the biggest thing with teams that have talent, especially at bigger schools. They have to come together and play together. If you're not playing together, especially on the football field, as 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, there's no way possible that you can move forward and have winning records if you're not playing together.
And Robinson St. Louis knows how vitally important a win is to his team tonight.
I think it's very important. One of the things I haven't articulated to our kids, but I think they know it. It's much better to be 4-5 than 3-6. So I think it's important that every win is important, and how we competed against them a year ago, that's still in our minds. That's still a taste that we want to get out of our mouths. We want to compete against good teams, and they're a good team, and we're ready to compete.
Angelo DiCarlo will be roaming the sidelines or hiding under the stands, whatever it takes. How important is a win tonight for these two teams to get a little bit of momentum going in the tournament?
Well, Elkhart doesn't play next week, so the last thing you want is to go 2 weeks sitting on 2 straight losses before you had to face Penn in 2 weeks' time. Meanwhile, for New Prairie, every time they come off a loss, they rattle off 6 straight wins. That happened last year when they lost to Penn. They won 6 straight games, got to the state final. So it's big for them because they're used to winning, and if they don't win here tonight, then all of a sudden you start wondering what's going on with 2 straight losses going into a game against Hobart next week. So I think it's a big opportunity for both teams to get back into a winning mode and have momentum heading into the playoffs.
We started the regular season in the sun and the heat. We wrap it up in the cold and rain, but we'll still have some fun here tonight. New Prairie and Elkhart, we've got the St. Joe County Police Department keys to win, and pregame show next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Tire Rack, HealthLink, Raising Cane's, Crown Trophy, API St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Welcome back to Rice Field. New Prairie in the white taking on Elkhart tonight. Welcome into our St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show, and let's give you our keys to win for tonight's game. We'll start with the New Prairie Cougars, who are led by their quarterback, Marshall Kamichek. Impressive numbers in passing, 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 851 yards, but he has also rushed for 799 yards and accounted for 21 touchdowns. His favorite target is Reeves Lapchinsky, 6'1", 170 pounds, and the senior. Lapchinsky has 17 receptions for 406 yards, 8 touchdowns, so he's a big play guy.
The keys to win tonight for the New Prairie Cougars at 6-2. They need to control the trenches. Yes, they can pass the ball, but they would rather run the ball and control the line of scrimmage, make more offensive, explosive plays. They want to have plays downfield, score in big chunks, and win the turnover battle. It's important for them to cause turnovers on the defensive side of the ball.
Meanwhile, for the Elkhart Lions, their top rusher for the year is a young man by the name of Connor Dow, a 5'9", 185-pound junior. Dow has rushed for 553 yards on 96 carries, and he's found pay dirt 9 times. But they'll need a big game from Quinn Ross coming back to the quarterback position after being out with injury. Ross has completed 60% of his passes for 722 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not as much of a runner this year because he's been so banged up. The keys to win for Robinson, St. Louis, and the Lions.
The keys to win tonight for the Lions: play free, be disciplined, have fun. All 3 of them short, sweet, and simple. And I think that's the biggest thing with Elkhart. They need to go out there and simplify everything and go out there and have fun and get some excitement into this team.
Not much of a series history because, well, Elkhart was just consolidated back in 2020. The Lions lead the series 2-1. New Prairie got their 1 win last year over at AMC Miller Field by the count of 35-7. The weather will definitely be a factor in this one tonight. It is 55 degrees in the City with a Heart, which in October is no big deal. It's that zephyr out of the east at 10 miles an hour. It's an ill wind tonight because it's 100% chance we're going to see rain. The question is just how hard and how often we'll see it.
As we get ready to kick off here on the first quarter. The first quarter is sponsored by McAllister Machinery Company. They're Indiana's Caterpillar and leading heavy equipment dealer. They were a 3rd-generation family-owned business since 1945. And if you're looking for career opportunities at McAllister Machinery Company, go to McAllister.com/career.
Indiana High School Athletic Association always looking for more officials. We thank these men for having answered the call tonight. Mark Terry Sr. working with Mark Angelo Terry, Mark Elias, Jason Shipwright, and Charles Breitenfeld. And of course, if you're interested in officiating football or any other sport, we encourage you to get together with your local officials association. It's exciting, Bo, to see more and more high schools teaching their young people how to become officials so that we can grow all the sports and make sure that they're all covered.
Yeah, I love how they have it in the high school area to where they can actually learn at the high school level and take it on and actually take classes after that and really get prepared, because we really need them. You're starting to see the IHSA and schools adopt to this with the shortage, have more games on Saturdays, but Friday Night Lights is where it's at, where the families want to be, and we need to get some more refs out there and more quality people on the field for these kids and all the parents involved as well.
Owen Chalik handles the kicking duties for the New Prairie Cougars. Elkhart with a couple of people back deep at the 10-yard line, and we're just about ready for football here at Venerable Rice Field in Elkhart. Glad you've joined us for this one on TV 46. Chalik waiting for the official's whistle, and there it is. It is a line drive boot that goes over to the right side. It'll be fielded at the 5-yard line. And weaving their way through traffic and going down behind all the powder that the Elkhart students let off at the 14-yard line is Frankie Willis. So poor field position for Elkhart as they start back at their own 15. Good coverage on special teams for New Prairie.
Yeah, that was actually superb coverage to get down there. It was a great kick, kicking in the corner and having it not go out of bounds or in the end zone. And I think the biggest thing was just the coverage getting downfield and putting Elkhart backed up here in their first drive.
That's Quinn Rost, the quarterback for Elkhart. The junior has been banged up throughout the year, but he gets the start tonight. He is the son of co-athletic director Jackie Rost. And Rost working from the pistol against a 4-man front for the Cougars, now backing into a 3-man. Rost will hand it off to Connor Dow, looking for running room, but not a lot there on the right-hand side. As we meet this Elkhart starting lineup brought to us by Sanders and Pianowski, along with Dow. They really rely on Zach Anderson to lead that receiving corps, 14 catches on the year. The offensive line, very inexperienced. A couple of seniors up there with Landon Miller and Brandon Whitty. There you see Dow after that pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Rost wants to throw, heaves it down the field, has a man, and it's caught. Nathan Munson is off to the races, and no one's going to catch him. Touchdown Elkhart, but we do have a flag on the play.
I think that's only going to be a sideline warning, I believe, because the side judge was running down. Yep, it's going to be just a sideline warning. The touchdown will count.
Nathan Munson on an 84-yard strike from Quinn Rost, and the Lions strike quickly here at Rice Field. We'll wait for Mark Terry Sr. to make the official call on this, but given the officials are setting the ball up for a PAT, we do believe this will be a sideline warning against Elkhart. And Elkhart actually had 2 receivers out there on the play. Zach Anderson smartly got out of the way of Nathan Munson. He almost broke up the pass.
2 guys wide open. I think it was just a faulty coverage where he fell down. You can see it on the R&B Car Company replay. Just a great job to open this passing game up here early for the Lions.
Jeremiah Aguiara comes on to try the extra point out of the hold of Quinn Rost. The snap is clean, the kick is up, and it hits the crossbar, no good. Aguilara didn't get a good boot onto that one, and the Lions missed the extra point. But what a confidence builder for Quinn Rost and the Lion offense here, which has been up and down all season long. This is definitely an up point as Munson got behind everybody.
Actually, both defenders fell down in that last replay. We saw just the last end of it where both players fell down. We were wondering what Elkhart was going to do, if they were going to be able to run the ball or if they're going to go to the passing game early and often. And sure enough, they went to that passing game after just a quick gain of 1 on their first play.
For Munson, a member of the track team here at Elkhart, that's his 3rd touchdown of the year on his 16th grab, and certainly the biggest play the Lions have had from scrimmage all season long.
At Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time and wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
Colin Krempek puts the ball on the tee for Elkhart. Reed Robinson is among the people back deep for New Prairie. A shocking beginning to this one for the Elkhart Lions, who have had their struggles offensively this year. We'll see what they can come up with here. The kick by Krempek goes to the far side. It's Robinson at the 19. He gets upended at the 31-yard line. Good tackle by Darian Newsom. But good field position for Marshall Kamichek and the New Prairie Cougars as they take the field for the first time tonight.
And another flag thrown right at the end of the play there.
We'll wait to see how they sort this one out. It's a personal foul face mask against Elkhart, so the field position improves even more for the Cougars.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty from the spot there. It's going to move them all the way up almost to midfield.
Not what you need to give this very aggressive attack of the New Prairie Cougars under offensive coordinator Bill Gum. There's the personal foul face mask call again, but they haven't stepped it off. Finally, they do. And they'll keep walking for a little bit. All the way up to the 47-yard line. Kamichek has been very balanced this season between his rushing and his passing. And now we've got a whistle and another flag thrown, this time for a false start. So as we're talking, very balanced approach between Marshall Kamichek on offense and in the running and passing game. He has 851 passing yards this year and 799 rushing yards. And he takes the opening snap and keeps it himself. Dodging tacklers, Kamichek picks up the penalty yardage there and gets it back to almost a 2nd and 10 as we meet the New Prairie offense, brought to you by the New Prairie Touchdown Club. Reed Robinson, the second leading rusher, gets a lot of help from Brock Sinka back there. They don't throw the ball a lot, but Lapchinsky is the leading receiver. Offensive line is solid with Dominic Sisk, Marshall Hobbs, and Jonathan Klasinski, the 3 seniors right in the middle.
As you mentioned, the New Prairie Touchdown Club sponsors the starting offense for the New Prairie Cougars. They would like to wish the team good luck in the game and the weeks ahead, and we hope you have a successful journey as you work to getting to Indy, and go Cougars.
2nd and 11, Brock Sinka around the left side, got a block out front by Klasinski, and then takes it across midfield to the 49-yard line. And New Prairie will be looking at a 3rd and 6 as Sanders and Pianowski sponsors the Elkhart defense. A couple of very good defensive ends in Marion Dye and Tamari Morris. Max Huckleberry, the leading linebacker on the team. Maurice Harris, one of the captains. And then you've got Darian Newsom leading the team with 69 tackles on the year. Looking at a 3rd and 6 here for the Cougars from the Lion 49. Kamichek capable of putting it up. Lapchinsky, his favorite receiver, down at the bottom of your screen. Kamichek rolling that way, looking downfield, throws, and threw it too low for his tight end, Matthew Source.
Looked like he got rolled out and got pressured just a little bit. Wasn't able to get any air on that ball, kind of spiked it in the ground. Kamichek also the punter here. So then drop back here on 4th down and try to play the field position battle. Of course, it didn't work too well in the last series when they pinned Elkhart back on that first kickoff.
New Prairie had some problems in the punt game last week with snaps going over Kamichek's head. And we'll check in with Angelo DiCarlo in a moment for an update on why that might have been. He handles the snap okay. Kicks it out of trouble. It's a rolling punt that rolls through the legs of an Elkhart returner and all the way down to the 7-yard line. A beautiful 42-yard punt by Marshall Kamichek with no return. Lions take over 1st and 10 with 9:33 to go here in the first quarter. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. And Angelo DiCarlo, last week was a rough one for Marshall Kamichek, but we think we know why.
Yeah, he was battling strep throat heading into the game, could not really keep down the fluids at all or even food during the week, so he had a lot of trouble in that regard. Lost 12 pounds during the week and had to get IVs taken at the hospital. He only went to practice for the offensive portion and then would go home. He told me Tuesday he feels much better. How did he feel last week against Penn? He said felt like he had strep throat, but he's gotten 6 pounds back, and that was one of the reasons he couldn't get that punt that went over his head, was just didn't have the energy last week.
Quinn Rost handed off and then carried out his play fake. Faked out our people, and Connor Dow was able to run at that time for about 2 yards as we meet the New Prairie defense, brought to you by the New Prairie Athletic Department. Dylan Wilson is having a very nice year on that defensive line, leading the team in sacks. The linebacker core is solid, headed up by Harrison Groves, the junior in the middle. And in the secondary, keep your eyes on Hayden Scott. He has 64 tackles on the season. On 2nd and 8, it's Connor Dow finding a hole on the right side and spinning his way forward to about the 16-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards.
Life is busy, and Little Caesars Pizza understands. Their fast service and great low prices will have you taken care of and out the door in no time. Little Caesars hot and ready items are ready to go when you are. Remember to use their app and order when you pick up at the portal to avoid lines. Little Caesars with 3 locations in Elkhart. Pizza, and they fed our crew tonight. And a big shout out to Little Caesars Pizza in Elkhart.
3rd and 2 for the Lions. Play clock is down to 10. Cougars showing blitz. Rost has a man in motion, then runs the other way, but he has nowhere to run. Matthew Source is there to make the hit after a loss of 1, and Elkhart will have to kick it away from deep in its own territory.
After hitting the big pass play in their first series, they went to 3 straight runs there in this series.
Source told me before the game he's a great student of YouTube videos, and I said, what do you mean? He goes, I watch all your games, whether it's us or not. So we appreciate that. Here's America's largest punter, Logan Jellison, lining up in punt formation. 6'5" putter, and he'll hang this one into the October sky. It's fielded back at the 47, and it's a return up to the 43-yard line for New Prairie's Reese Lapchinsky, and that's where the Cougars will take over in positive territory when we come back 7:30 to go in the first. Elkhart leads at 6-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. New Prairie has it 1st and 10 at the Elkhart 43, trailing 6-0. Marshall Kamichek and the Cougars went 3 and out on their first possession. We'll see what they can do right here. Reed Robinson is the running back, lined up next to Kamichek in the backfield. Not sure what the delay is all about here.
Well, they're talking back and forth amongst themselves, the refs. The side judge over here talking to Robinson.
There might be a little bit of a problem with the game clock, and they might have wanted to reset some time on there. And apparently there have been some people in the fans with lasers that are shooting them down towards the field, and so they want to put a stop to that. It's 1st and 10 from the 43. Lapchinsky, the man in motion along the offensive line as well, and that'll cost the Cougars 5 yards.
That's exactly how they started last series. False start on the offensive line. That's not what you want to start a series, to start up, move it back 5 yards and make it 1st and 15.
It's the second penalty now on the New Prairie Cougars, and we'll see how Casey McKim and Bill Gum try to sort this one out. Christian Johnson was the young man who rocked in the line that time. And a rolling snap back to Kamichek, and his knee touches on the ground back at the 46. Boy, this has been a disastrous start for New Prairie. That's another 5-yard loss, and they're looking at 2nd and 20.
Well, I think they got away with a false start anyways. There you can see the ball just kind of rolling, went to pick it up, put his knee down to pick it up, which you normally do a lot of times. But there was some offensive guards and tackles moving before that snap even went, I think, as well.
Rain coming down at Elkhart's Rice Field. We'll see how it affects the passing game here, as it's likely a throwing situation for New Prairie. Kamichek, play action. Now flushed out of the pocket, and down he goes. Oh, what a hit. Marion Dye got there first, and he had some help from Oliver Yakey.
Dye's closing time is just unbelievable on that. Looked like Kamichek was unable to slip under, but his ability to close and wrap up with those big old arms. And Dye hits the weight room, and that's for sure.
Dye playing with that little bit of a cast on his right hand. He ran his finger into the helmet of a Penn player back when we did that game. That was a loss of 9 on the play. New Prairie looking at 3rd and 30. Ooh. And another rolling snap. Reed Robinson picks it up, fumbles, it's loose, and Elkhart has it. Maurice Harris with the fumble recovery, and the Lions are in business in New Prairie territory.
Wow, tough break for Robinson and the Cougars. Bad snap. It all started with that. He had to pick it up, gets out there, just a wet ball, didn't tuck it tight enough. And Elkhart did the right thing there, not trying to scoop and score, just rolling up on the ball and recovering it, making sure it was their ball inside Cougar territory.
For Harris, the all-conference linebacker a year ago, that's his 2nd fumble recovery of the season. Elkhart takes over 1st and 10 at the New Prairie 32. Rost working from the gun. Anderson in motion. Rost wants to go for it deep here, but instead is going to scramble and finally go out of bounds at about the 29-yard line to pick up a 3 on the play. He was able to carry the tackler, Harrison Groves, out of bounds with him and make some positive yardage out of it.
New Age Baking Company in downtown New Carlisle has fresh donuts daily, and they're open Wednesday through Sunday. Pop in and try their breakfast pizza. That's New Age Baking Company.
On 2nd and 8. It's Connor Dow trying to get some room off the right side, but he is taken down by Trenton Clute, the linebacker. Clute had 10 tackles in the game against Penn last week, and he makes his 44th stop of the season right here after a pickup of about 3. So Dow now with 4 carries for 12 yards on the night. 3rd and 5 in definite 4-down territory for Elkhart because we saw the kicking game a moment ago.
Yeah, they're definitely in 4-down territory. And at this point, we talked about they're more concerned about just getting some momentum and getting their offensive rolling in this game rather than with the wins and losses.
Rost with time. Now runs out of it. Look out. He took a whack from Matthew Source. Back at the 35-yard line. It's a loss of 7 on the play, and you'll get another look from R&B Car Company.
He hesitated, pumped, had the guy down the field, but thought about it just another second. Especially when it's raining out, you kind of think about that throw just a little bit more, and the pressure got to him.
So Elkhart now looking at 4th and 12, and the New Prairie defense trying to come up with a big stand here after seeing the offense fumble in its own territory. This would be the kind of boost the Cougars need right here. Rost with trips to his left. And whistles thrown, and you know what I mean. Whistles blown and flags thrown.
It's a penalty on Elkhart.
Yes, that too.
There, then I move it back. The New Prairie Athletic Department would like to thank our student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans from all they do, help, support, and promote educated-based athletics. Go Cougars from the New Prairie Athletic Department.
So now it's 4th and 17. Kind of wonder if you might think about a quick kick here with Quinn Rost. Try to pin New Prairie back deep. But Rost is going to throw. He's going to heave it down the sidelines, and it's too far for his intended receiver, and New Prairie will take over on downs.
Actually had him open down the field along the sides, just threw it to the inside rather to the outside, and just a little, not enough air underneath of it.
So New Prairie will take over 1st and 10 at its own 39-yard line. And a reminder, Monday night at 7 on Pulse FM, we talk all things Notre Dame football with Notre Dame FCU's Irish Football Fix. We'll talk about the USC game from Saturday and let you know how the Irish stand going into the bye week. Anj and I talk all things Irish football on the NDFCU Irish Football Fix Monday night at 7. Here's Kamichek on a quarterback keeper, and he gets his bell run as he goes down by Mo Harris right at the line of scrimmage, and Logan Jellison was in on the stop as well.
Jellison was able to come through and follow one of the pulling guards and really step up in the hole, so Kamichek had no place to go on that play.
Logan's brother Brandon, a freshman now at Illinois State University, was the Brindle Award winner last year here in Elkhart. That goes to the outstanding male senior athlete. 2nd and 10 from the 39. Kamichek hands it off. And nothing doing that time either. The Elkhart defense, as we saw earlier in the year, tough against the run, and Zach Henrich had nowhere to go.
Yeah, they did a great job early in the season against Penn and really stopping Penn's run defense for most of our offense for most of the game. And we was wondering, coming in this game, are they going to be able to do that with this New Prairie team and stop that run and do it for 4 straight quarters?
So now here's Marshall Kamichek. He was able to throw for 306 yards, a school record in their win over Riley, but still looking for his first passing yard of the night tonight. On 3rd and 10, Kamichek rolling to his right. Given time, throws it out there, and it's off the hands of his intended receiver, Bo Kamichek. It was a brother-to-brother connection there, but Bo couldn't hang on, and the pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, Bo had a great opportunity to haul that in, just didn't use his hands, tried to cradle it in his arm. Bo, you got to use your hands a little bit more on that, Bo. I just wanted to say Bo a few more times, you know.
So 4th and 10, and here's Kamichek to have to punt it away, and he's got to wait for his brother to get back to the line of scrimmage. Yes, he was hanging his head a little bit after not catching that one. Good snap. Marshall Kamichek was able to handle a kind of a low line drive kick that Elkhart will field back at its own 25-yard line. And the Lions will get a good return from Carson Pollard before he's knocked out of bounds at about the 36. So Pollard with an 11-yard return, and you'll get another look here from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, just a great job by Pollard picking that ball up, getting some positive yards after the kick. Big old hit by New Prairie, popping Pollard right there on the sidelines.
Looked like Trenton Clute, the linebacker, was able to put the shoulder into him. But, as you said, Pollard at least got in front of it and kept that ball from rolling, because I don't know how many times you've had to say it this year.
Yeah.
You got to get in front of the ball. Quinn Rost had an 84-yard touchdown pass on Elkhart's first possession. Now looking to see what he can do here. The Lions with their best field position for a play from the line of scrimmage tonight.
A lot of times when defenses stack the box against a running team, the middle of the field's open, and that's where Quinn was able to hit early in the game, was up the middle of the field on a little bit of a streak route, and I think that's one of the areas you got to be able to attack.
Connor Dow running up the middle, and Trenton Clute was able to come in and hold him up, then get some help from his teammates. Up to the 40-yard line, we got a late flag, and that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul against Elkhart. Darian Jackson took his man all the way out to the track.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. There's no better way to make sure your athlete is ready to play than with a sports physical. Call HealthLink and schedule an appointment today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more.
Robinson St. Louis trying to plead the case for his receiver who was doing the blocking there, but it's going to be to no avail, I believe. It's a personal foul against Elkhart, and that'll be 15 yards from the end of the run. The only question will be whether it was called a dead ball foul or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was after the plays when the flags come in. Yep, dead ball, personal foul.
So Dow picks up 4 yards on the run, but the dead ball personal foul means it's going to be 15 yards back and second down. So Elkhart will have this one at the 25, looking at the 2nd and 21, and those are the kind of costly penalties that Elkhart has had this year. Robinson St. Louis has pleaded for more discipline from his team. 3 penalties for 35 yards already for the Lions, and we haven't played 10 minutes of football. St. Louis still pleading his case, but I'm not sure what case you have there. The sideline here at Rice Field clearly marked. Connor Dow with a one-hand catch over on the sideline, but didn't have a whole lot of room to the short side of the field and may wound up losing a yard or two on that play.
At Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time and wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
The scoreboard says 3rd and 19, but my math, taking you from the 23 to the 46, would tell you it should be 3rd and 23. Rost will hand it off to Connor Dow. They'll get very conservative here, and Dow will battle upfield to about the 26-yard line. Elkhart will be content to punt it away from there.
I think with the rain out there and the conditions, it's pretty windy out there as well. You can see the flags blowing in the distance. It's kind of tough to throw the ball, especially the way they're trying to throw the ball down the field.
And you see that Zephyr we talked about is more of a breeze right now, and it's shifted a little bit more from the north as well. Check in with Angelo between quarters here to kind of get a field conditions update as Logan Jellison gets ready to punt it away. High snap, but Jellison 6'5" hauls it down. Lapchinsky lets it hit, and it takes a Lion roll. Boy, does it. All the way down to the Cougar 32-yard line. A solid punt that time by Logan Jellison to 42 yards with no return.
Whether you need to feed the team or the crowd, Raising Cane's has your game plan covered. Hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken finger tailgates and jugs of freshly made iced tea and hand-squeezed lemonade. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Marshall Kamichek trying to get New Prairie its first win ever here at Rice Field. Granted, they're 0-2 in games here. from the 32. The handoff to Brock Sinka, looking for running room around the left side. Not much to be had. He'll pick up 2 this time. As Sinka, the former New Prairie ball boy, now getting his chance to play and running with some attitude out there.
Well, I think the biggest positive on that run was they didn't have a penalty to start the drive like they did the last 2 drives. I mean, that's the biggest positive that New Prairie's had on their offensive start so far.
Well, let's face it, this is the first second down play they've run that hasn't been double digits to go.
Yeah.
2nd and 8. Waning seconds of quarter number 1. Cougars still looking for their first down. Kamichek hung on to the football, then took a lick that time from Darian Newsom as he goes forward to the 37-yard line. Only a pickup of 3 for Kamichek.
I really like how physical Elkhart's playing tonight. I mean, they're really attacking on the defensive side of the ball and really coming up and laying hits on the Cougars.
And you know, Anj mentioned the illness to Kamichek earlier, and granted that was last week. He's feeling better, but I don't think he's nearly at full strength yet.
Well, and he said he only gained 6 of the 12 pounds he lost back. When you lose that amount of weight in 1 week because of an illness, your energy level is going to be really low.
They do have to get a play off here. Play clock at 2. They just do get it off. Sinka trying to run around the right side, makes a cut, and is taken down by Jellison at the line of scrimmage to end the first quarter of play. In the last 5 quarters of football, New Prairie has a total of 9 yards. Meanwhile, Elkhart got 84 on this play from Quinn Ross to Nathan Munson, and the Lions take a 6-0 lead to the second on 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. I'm pretty sure he's uncomfortable tonight down on the sidelines. Angelo DiCarlo with another Bill's Heating sideline report. What are the conditions like right now?
I mean, it's raining. It's not that bad in terms of being too cold. It's windy. The rain is coming down at a steady pace at this point. It's picked up as the game's gone on. The turf here is only 5 years old, so the turf is in excellent condition. Elkhart played in grass last week at Marion. That was not in excellent condition. Meanwhile, New Prairie played on turf at Penn last week, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out the rest of the game. But this is probably the most rain these 2 teams have faced this year, because last week would have been the only other game where they faced rain.
Well, they've already moved New Prairie's JV game with Elkhart to this field tomorrow to help preserve Amzie Miller Field, so it'll be in better shape for the tournament. Kamichek handles the snap on the punt, gets a line drive out of there that's fielded nicely by Frankie Willis. And Willis, the freshman, is across and all the way to the 40-yard line. What a play by Frankie Willis. It looked like he'd be taken down when he made the catch.
Well, just a great example of you got guys around you, but you still catch that ball. There's a lot of pressure there, and you can see what happens. The ball doesn't roll and get another 10, 15 yards. He makes a good run, picks up a positive yards, almost gets it back to the sticks for New Prairie.
24-yard punt return for Frankie Willis, and I know in talking to the Elkhart coaches this week, they are very high on the future of this young man.
Yeah, a lot of potential out there, especially if you can see plays like that right here. And we'll see if Elkhart can capitalize here and get some more points on the board.
Elkhart going to its bench now for running back as Anthony Leonard comes in to run. And we've got a flag. I believe we've got an illegal substitution.
Oh, they had one coming off, another one coming back on.
So as the officials discuss this one, we'll finally get a call from Mark Terry. And it's an unsportsmanlike conduct foul against both teams. So there was some jawing pregame, and it started when New Prairie was warming up around midfield, and they were playing catch over the E at midfield. The Elkhart players took exception to that and came out and started chirping a little bit, and I don't think the chirping has stopped since.
A little bit of a rivalry starting here in the past couple of years between these 2 schools.
Both teams capable of bringing some attitude, let's put it that way. Rost with Anthony Leonard at his left. And it's Leonard taking the handoff behind the block of Nathan Munson. Ball popped loose, but was the whistle blown already? It was. The official says Leonard was down after a 2-yard pickup.
Richard Robinson with Robinson Financial LLC is a proud New Prairie alum and parent. Let us become your financial resource. Call us at 574-988-0025. Robinson Financial LLC. Go Cougars.
2nd and 8. You take a look at the junior Quinn Rost, member of the baseball team. His dad is the baseball coach here at Elkhart. And the handoff to Connor Dow, and Dow got spun around but managed to work his way forward and pick up about 4 yards on the play. Dow has been active tonight in the early going. He's already got 7 carries for 23 yards.
Not many first downs between either team tonight. I don't even know if we have.
Elkhart gets credit for one on the Nathan Munson touchdown, and that is the only first down that we've had in the game so far, having played nearly 12 and a half minutes.
New Age Baking Company, the New Prairie first down sponsors, give you a big shout out.
Now we've got an illegal substitution called on Elkhart. And that's going to be about a 5-yard penalty as well.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working toward a great finish. Thank you, Imagineering, for your continued support of high school sports on TV 46.
Robinson St. Louis may be smiling, but I don't think he's truly happy on the inside as he talks this call over. Robinson in his 2nd year at Elkhart, where he's 10 and 8. He spent 4 years at Peru before he took this job. And the 5-yard walk-off will lead the Lions with a 3rd and 10. Robinson, familiar with the Elkhart system. He was a defensive coordinator at Elkhart Memorial under Scott Shaw, who, of course, as we saw last week, is the head coach at Niles. Fumble on the field, and Anthony Leonard able to pounce on it just ahead of a New Prairie defender. Aiden Ziegler was there hoping to get it, but couldn't quite. Loss of 1 on the play. You get another look from R&B Car Company. Like trying to corral a grease pig at the fair. So 4th and 11, and Jellison called on to punt yet again. Reese Lapchinsky waits back at his own 10.
Might be a little hard to snap it over Jellison's head.
6'5", 230. They like him on defense, but he has proven to be an effective punter. And he gets this one out of there. Lapchinsky will watch it hit, and he'll field it back at his own 5. And gets thrown down at the 9-yard line as Cade Tyrakowski was right there to make the stop. And we'll take a break with 9:37 to go in the first half. Elkhart leads New Prairie 6-0. You're watching high school football on TV 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Raising Cane's, craveable chicken finger meals, and One Love. Here's the view we have from up above here at Rice Field as we go back to action. Marshall Kamichek's pass completed out in the flat, and it's good for a first down, sponsored by New Age Baking Company, as Bo Kamichek makes that grab and takes it out to the 27-yard line. That's a pickup of 18 yards and the Cougars' first down of the night.
Here you can see the R&B Car Company replay of that first down of the night for New Prairie. Nice little fake, quick release by Kamichek to Kamichek. Bo with a nice stiff arm there, picking up a few more yards.
Frankie Willis, the freshman, paid the price for that tackle. 1st and 10 from the 27, and another flag and a timeout, actually, sponsored by Sanders and Pianowski with 9:14 to go in the first half. We'll keep it right here.
Little Tavern in Rolling Prairie salutes the New Prairie Cougars on an awesome season. If the Cougars win tonight, come in on Saturday with your ticket stub and receive 10% off. Yes, I said 10% off your food bill. Check us out on Facebook at Little Tavern Rolling. Go Cougars.
College football on the radio tomorrow at noon on all of our frequencies. 92-1 and 96-9 will have the third-ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State going into Ross-Ade to take on Purdue. Meanwhile, over on 103.1 FM, can Indiana, with a new offensive coordinator, go into Michigan and pull the upset? I don't think so, but we'll find out. Don Fisher will have the call. The second-ranked Wolverines and the Hoosiers, Saturday at noon on 103.1 FM. Nice little tent down there for the players to go to so they don't get rained on while the coaches are trying to show them plays. That's probably as much to protect that computer as anything else.
Yeah, the technology that they have nowadays down there showing the plays of the past plays and going over schemes and different things for the next series.
Marshall Kamichek at quarterback. Going to roll and look to run. Nice cut by Kamichek. He got a great block from Source and was able to go forward to the 32-yard line, pick up a 5 on the play. The yards have been tough to come by for Kamichek tonight. 6 carries, -2.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is just the way this Elkhart Lions defense has really stepped up and held Kamichek in check. I mean, you're looking at a guy with over 800 passing yards, over 800 or closing on 800 rushing yards, 1,600 total yards, and you're holding him to -2 rushing on the night.
Trayvon Curry refers to his defense as speed freaks, and they have played like it here tonight. 2nd and 5. Robinson, the running back, makes the cut on the turf and goes right over Mo Harris for a pickup of about 2 on the play. Harris, the captain of this defense, not only is he an all-conference linebacker from a year ago, excellent member of the track team, and really one of the leaders on this team. I was talking with Quinn Ross, the Elkhart quarterback, said, you go up against Mo every day in practice. What's it like? And he says he gives as good as he gets. I mean, you know, he and I jawed each other all practice, but we're hoping to make everybody else on the team better, and Harris clearly does. 3rd and 3. Kamichek looks to throw. Looking downfield, he had his brother for a moment, now just has to throw it away. He was looking for the underneath man, trying to get him to the first down sticks, but that was well covered by Oliver Yakey, and it's another punting situation for New Prairie.
Yeah, he had Robinson underneath, but I noticed that last play, Robinson got up. He was limping just a little bit on that fumble that he had earlier in the game. It looked like his ankle got rolled a little bit during that play as well, and I really noticed him limping after that last play, so I wasn't sure if he was able to really get out in his route on that last play.
Frankie Willis waits for the Kamichek punt back at his own 39-yard line. Willis, bad snap here, and it goes over the head of Kamichek all the way back into the end zone. He'll kick it out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
Actually, the best play he could have, been trying to pick it up, but if he recovers that or Elkhart recovers that in the end zone, that's a touchdown.
So for the 2nd straight week, New Prairie's punt team winds up giving up points. This time it's only a safety. Kamichek had no shot at that snap, and then, whether by accident or not, gets it out of the back of the end zone, and the Elkhart lead advances to 8-0.
Regardless of the play and kicking it out of the back, it's still only a 1-score game at this point, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So nothing really hurt for Elkhart except the fact of this has happened 2 weeks in a row now where the snap's gone over the punter's head.
Let me ask you a question, and maybe the answer is as simple as the illness. But is that what's wrong with this New Prairie offense right now? Because we're looking at 5.5 quarters where they haven't come close to moving the football.
No, I think it's a lot to do with that Elkhart defensive line. I mean, when we saw them against Penn had a heck of a time trying to move the ball against this defensive line of the Lions. And I think that's the biggest thing is the defense that Elkhart is playing tonight is just giving New Prairie fits.
So between the Penn defense, which is really good, and the Elkhart defense, which is really good, it's just better than the New Prairie offense.
I think that's what it is, yeah. And the size advantage that both Elkhart and Penn have of being 6A schools, they got a little bit more size advantage of that.
I think that's a valid point too, because New Prairie doesn't really face competition quite like this at the 4A level. Not taking anything away from Hobart or anybody else that they'll play at 4A, but frankly, the first part of the season for New Prairie was a much easier portion of the schedule.
Yeah.
Owen Chalik will have the free kick from back at his 20-yard line. And we'll see what kind of field position the Lions can get out of this. Chalik gets the signal. And a high spinning kick will hit down and go out of bounds. And Elkhart will get the football, but where? I have to admit, the free kick rule, I believe, should put it at the 50-yard line, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, because you got the 35 of on a normal kickoff.
Right.
And so when it's back 20 yards, I don't know if it moves up 10 at that point to the 45 or.
Well, it's actually back 15 yards from where you normally kick it off. Or excuse me, you're right, 20 yards. Mm-hmm. So the 45-yard line of New Prairie is where Elkhart would get the football. And that's where they want it. I don't blame them. So from the, that's where they're going to put it, is the Cougar 45.
Yep.
And great field position here for Quinn Rost and the Elkhart Lions, and we'll see if they can build on a little bit of success here. One of the big problems, and we touched on this in the pregame, it's something Ramos and St. Louis harped on during the week. Elkhart just has not been able to put together 4 quarters of football. They'd love to see the offense, after that great start, do something again.
Yeah, we see it in little spurts here and there throughout quarters where they put stuff together, explosive plays, big long drives where they get points on the board, but it's just those in-between areas where they got to really get better at.
On 1st and 10, Ross to throw, has his man out in the flat. Great movement here, and it's good for a Lions first down all the way up to the 32-yard line, as you'll get another look from R&B Car Company at the connection.
Yeah, great job of getting the ball out. A little fluttery on the pass, but the receiver is able to look it in, pick up some big yardage, and get it down to the 32-yard line.
Mason with the catch that time for Elkhart. Good for 13 yards. Ross will hand it off to Connor Dow here, and nothing doing there as Dylan Wilson comes in from the defensive end spot and makes the hit.
That was a great example of New Prairie really calling that play out. They've done this play, or Elkhart's run that play twice where they line up guys. The last time they brought the guys in motion, and Elkhart defensive line and linebackers called the play out and just stuffed that play up.
2nd down and 11. Ross play action. Nathan Munson out there, threw it too far for him. They brought Munson in motion. They had him isolated against the linebacker, Trenton Clute. Liked the matchup, but it's a tough throw.
That's a tough throw. That's a really tough throw to get it over that linebacker, drop it in on such a short pass because it's hard to put the touch on that pass.
So now a 3rd and 11 situation for Elkhart.
Martin's Supermarkets, groceries to go. Annual subscriptions are now available, just $29.99 for the year. You get ad pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
In motion, Connor Dow runs right into another New Prairie linebacker, Harrison Groves, the junior, on the stop. And Groves, a member of the basketball team, now coached by Ben Wigginton, stops Dow after a pickup of 3. Elkhart looking at a 4th and 8. And of course, Elkhart will go for it way beyond the field goal range here as they sit at the New Prairie 30-yard line. Cougar defense came up big after a fumble recovery by Elkhart and held Elkhart on downs. Can they do it again right here? Bad snap, it's loose. Ross will fall on it. New Prairie will take over at their own 33.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a snap, and then he hesitated and then rolled the ball, and then he's like, oh, I made a mistake. That's a live ball at that point.
So Brandon Whitty with a snap that not only wasn't good, but it wasn't when anybody expected it. And it just squirts out there in front of Connor Dow, who falls on it. But at that point, it didn't really matter. It was 4th down, and the Cougars were going to get the ball back either way.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is at least they got on it and didn't let somebody come through and pick it up and take it to the zone.
So on 1st and 10 from his own 33. Kamichek From the pistol, hands it off to Reed Robinson, and Robinson, trying to fly by some people, manages to pick up about 5 yards on the play. One of the better runs of the night for the Cougars.
One of their better first down plays and one of their better runs on the night.
In fact, that 5-yard run by Robinson, that matches the longest rushing play of the night for New Prairie. Mari Morris managed to fall on top of him. 2nd and 5. Let's see if that line for New Prairie can start moving some people out of the way. High snap. Robinson jitterbugs his way through traffic, and finally E.J. Aguirre just put a big old shoulder into him, about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, I don't see any ankle hampering Robinson at this point. It looks like he's moving pretty well, and great job of really getting upfield. Nice little shimmy shake. Great job of taking on the hit and moving forward.
Now, Aguirre, had we had a replay like we have in the college game, that likely would have been called a targeting.
Yeah, even though it was face mask to helmet, it still would have been a targeting call because it's helmet to helmet, regardless of the face mask or not.
So 3rd and 1 for New Prairie. Looking for just their 2nd first down of the game. Kamichek gets under center for the first time tonight, and a whistle and a timeout called. Or is it a false start? A timeout is called by New Prairie. We'll take it as well. 4:37 to go first half. Elkhart leads New Prairie 8-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you by St. Andrews and API, 31 years of success. The umbrellas are out here at Rice Field as the rain begins to intensify. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Angelo DiCarlo, you look a little colder and wetter than the last time we saw you.
I'm not cold, but it is definitely significant rain. Hardest it's rained all night. I think it's going to be really difficult for these teams to be able to pass the ball now. I think the ball is going to be really wet. These are conditions you haven't really seen. This is harder rain than we had last week. And, of course, it has not rained the rest of the season. So I think that's going to play a factor. And, you know, going back to that conversation about Marshall Kamichek, remember, coming off strep throat, he says he feels better. But these aren't great conditions to be coming back from strep throat either in this rain and this cold and this wind.
Under center, Kamichek lost the football, and who's got it? Elkhart says they do. We will see if that is accurate, because every team says they do. The scrum goes on. There are some words being exchanged and people being held back. Kamichek's holding the football right now, so you have to think it's 4th down.
Yeah, he's holding the football with no helmet on, by the way, and his headband ripped off as well.
And remember, he's the punter. So if the officials determine his helmet was not taken off by an Elkhart player, he's going to have to go out. The ball was right there for the taking. Kamichek really had to reach with E.J. Aguirre on top of him. And then as things ensued down there, and Aguirre trying to get up and take the ball away from him, and that's when the helmet was taken off of Kamichek, and so he's allowed to stay in the game. So we're looking at a 4th and 1 here, Bo.
5 Star Sheets. FS Transportation in New Carlisle is proud to support the Cougars and salutes all the fall sports athletes for their dedication. 5 Star Sheets. FS Transportation is accepting applications for CDL drivers, garage technicians, forklift drivers, and production. Visit 5starsheets.com.
So they do require Kamichek to leave because the helmet came off, and Matthew Source will do the punting here for New Prairie. And we'll see how that impacts this play. Remember, the snap went over the head of Kamichek on the very last punt snap, so that had nothing to do with his ability to punt.
Well, one of the things I've noticed is New Prairie's punters are almost 15 yards deep.
Source does a good job getting this kickoff, and it'll take a little bit of a New Prairie roll. Now it starts coming back, and it'll be down at the 37-yard line. But considering the circumstances, 21-yard punt's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, no, not at all. What I was saying was I've noticed some teams and some punters are a little bit further back, about that 15 to 16-yard mark, Whereas back when I punted, I wanted to be about 11 yards away, and just a quick snap to me, it kept it nice and low. It had less of an opportunity for that ball to get away and get over my head. But again, at that time, you have to get rid of it a little bit quicker.
I was going to say, what about a pump block then when you're that close?
You just need to make sure that when you catch it, you plant and go. Plant and go right on that. You can't take the normal 1, 2, 3 kick.
So you're willing to give up a little bit in yardage because you're also probably going to have a lower line drive that might get some roll.
Yeah, and that's what I love, low line drives kicks in high school, kicking away from the opponent, kicking away from the returner, nice low line drive.
Ross throws it through the hands of Nathan Munson. It's incomplete. Quinn Ross 3 out of 5 for 95 yards tonight.
Here to protect and serve our community, the St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
2nd and 10. You see the clock right-hand corner of the Tire Rack scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we have. I got more plastic. I'm gonna.
2nd and 10. Mason in motion. Ross looking to throw. Gets away from Wilson. Now he tries a shovel pass to Munson, and Munson smartly let that one drop.
Yeah.
If he catches it, they lose yardage. Yes, the clock stops, but they get it back to the 37.
Yeah, that rain is really starting to come down. That wind's playing devastation on any type of passing game in this situation.
Are you surprised, given the conditions, that Elkhart, and granted they haven't had a ton of success running the ball, but came out trying to throw on this possession?
Not really, because they need to move the ball, and that's the only way they've really moved the ball down the field is by the pass. So they got to go back to it, I believe, and give them an opportunity to score some more points.
3rd and 10. It's Connor Dow trying to run around the right side. Source forced him back in. Harrison Groves makes the tackle. That's good team defense right there.
Well, and that's the biggest thing Elkhart's been doing tonight is the defensive ends have been turning everything back inside, have not let Elkhart get to the outside.
So good job by the New Prairie defense. It'll force another Logan Jellison punt. The good news for Jellison is he has the wind at his back here.
New Prairie calls a timeout. Save some time on the clock.
3:44 to go here in the first half. And the tournament begins next week, and we've made our call as to where we will be. We will bring you a 3A sectional quarterfinal and our first trip ever for the 46th game of the week in football to go to Fairfield. Falcon Field will be the site as the Jimtown Jimmies and Fairfield Falcons play an Elkhart County rivalry. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. On your home for high school sports in Michiana, TV 46. Be very interesting. Those are two teams that run the ball very well.
Yep.
Corey Stoner's Jimtown team has been finding its groove, but Matt Thacker has done a nice job over at Fairfield.
Yeah, just an excellent job over there, what he's done, and Corey Stoner just really trying to get back to the Jimmy way, and Fairfield, you know, oh, look at Anj.
How are things in the play for it?
I know.
Oh, you got hot chocolate for me?
Yeah, look at this guy.
Look at this.
Too. All right, thank you.
I bared the weather, stood out in the snow and the rain.
This is great.
You get a tent
I
and
only
hot
see the
cocoa?
back of guys' jerseys, but the view couldn't be better right now. I'm nice and dry.
Logan Jellison with a high hanging punt that's going to take an Elkhart roll inside the 20 and be down to the 16. Jellison with another dandy 46-yard punt there with no return.
I'm sure a few of these players on the sidelines are a little jealous of Anj over there.
They won't be once we zip up the tent and don't let any more air in there, but that's another story.
Oh.
See, that's the thing. You wouldn't have been able to fit inside that tent.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Gotcha. I found it more warming to walk back and forth and just keep moving on the field.
1st and 10 from the 16 for Marshall Kamichek and New Prairie, trailing 8-0, trying to get their first points in the last 6 quarters. And the handoff goes to one of the running backs and knocked down right after a pickup of about a yard. That Elkhart defense has come to play tonight, as coming up with the run that time for New Prairie was Zach Henrich, but he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, he got stood up just a yard past the line of scrimmage. Just, man, I can't say enough about this Elkhart Lion defense. They are playing physical tonight.
Trayvon Curry's group doing a superb job. On 2nd and 9, it's Reed Robinson. Tried to get past a couple of people, but finally taken down by the safety, Darian Newsom. And even with all the running Robinson did there, he only picked up about a yard.
New Age Baking Company in downtown New Carlisle has fresh donuts daily, and they're open Wednesdays through Sunday. Pop in and try the breakfast pizza. That's New Age Baking Company in New Carlisle.
3rd and 8. Kamichek tonight just 1 of 4 passing for 18 yards, and he's throwing into a very stiff breeze right here. We'll see what he can do with Robinson, the running back, just to his left. Kamichek rolls out, looking to throw. Now he has to throw a bullet, and Robinson makes a beautiful sliding catch at the 23, but he's 3 yards short of the first down.
Great coverage downfield by Elkhart again. Nothing was open. Here you can see on the RB Car Company replay, Kamichek just doesn't have anybody downfield. He's holding off as long as he can, gets the pressure, releases to Robinson underneath for a short pickup, but it brings up a 4th down.
And now it's Elkhart that will use the timeout, sponsored by Sanders and Pianowski with 2:07 to go in the first half. As both these teams keep kind of jostling back and forth, trying to see if they can get the other to maybe slip, fall, and make a mistake. Is that what it comes down to?
Well, and that's what happens on the touchdown on the first play of the game. First play of the game, 2 defenders fell down. Ross had 2 guys open. Munson, he hit him down the field for the touchdown, and then the other 2 points was a snap over the punter's head, over Kamichek's head. So our only points tonight really were on mistakes.
Kamichek will come out to try to punt it away. Remember, he couldn't do the last punt because his helmet had come off on a fumble. But he's back out there now. Elkhart scored its last 2 points of the game on a bad snap on a New Prairie punt. Frankie Willis is the deep man, but he's standing at the New Prairie 45. Another high snap. Kamichek had to back up, but he gets off a beautiful punt here. Willis retreats to his own 44 and is thrown down hard at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the return after the big hit by Zach Henrich.
Elkhart had good field position here again, possibly put up some points. The one key thing, you don't want to force anything, especially in the flats area, to where New Prairie could pick it off and take it to the end zone. So that's one area you want to kind of avoid, kind of hit the middle of the field, down the field.
They'll spot it at the Lion 48. An old-fashioned catfight here in the Northern Indiana Conference tonight, Lions and Cougars. And right now, Elkhart with an 8-0 advantage. On 1st and 10, Rost with Connor Dow to his left. And it's Dow taking the handoff, getting around the outside, and with a head of steam, plows forward for 6 yards. Harrison Groves was in on the tackle. Dow now with 30 yards, but it's taken him 12 carries to get there.
Yeah, and we talked about Dow not being able to hit the corner. That time he was able to hit the corner and pick up big 6 yards on 1st down.
Elkhart having to go at tempo here, down to 1 timeout remaining. Rost, he'll throw it down the field. Mason is out there, but he can't make the catch. It's broken up by Bo Kamichek.
Great job of really coming over the top and not interfering on that pass breakup.
You'll get another look here from R&B Car Company. It was a bit of a wounded duck that hung in the air for a long time, and Kamichek had to wait with that arm extended and bring it up to knock it away.
Time for new tires? Go to TireRack.com and try their easy-to-use tire decision guide to get a personalized tire recommendation. They sell only the best brands backed by test results, consumer ratings, and customer reviews. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Dow plowing behind the right side of his offensive line, gets forward to the 44-yard line. He's still 2 yards short of the first down, and Elkhart will likely go for it here on 4th and 2 with time ticking away here in the second. And now we've got a whistle and a timeout called, but by whom? Quinn Rost over talking to Jonathan Kirkton, one of the offensive coaches. We still haven't had a signal as to why the clock was stopped. I think there's another
laser.
problem in the stands with
They're pointing at where it's coming from.
fans shining things out onto the field. And in this case, they're hurting the home team. All the Elkhart players looking over into the stands.
Yeah, they're right at the student section. That's actually where they're pointing at.
So, and there's administrators over there right now trying to help with the situation. Actually, it's not the student section.
No.
It's way up
They're
above
looking
that.
back underneath the press box, right
Yes.
up underneath us.
So you see people up there talking to the fans that are underneath the stands. It's possible that somebody was just trying to take video, but sometimes when you're trying to take video at night, the light on your camera comes on. And if it's pointing down towards the field, that could easily be a distraction for a player.
By the way, there was a green laser apparently being shined down from just above in probably the most prime seats that exist here. I'll call it the mezzanine section in the just under the press box, but apparently that was coming from some of the players had been noticing it as well, so I'm sure the officials were able to see it too. So they had tons of officials up there, or administrators up there, to try to resolve the situation. So hopefully they had that figured out.
They had stopped the game early in the first quarter for a similar situation, so I'm sure it's somewhat the annoyance of having to stop it a second time now.
Yeah. Well, and this was a delayed stop, and it's right before half as well.
It's right before halftime. It's kind of a critical juncture in this game. Elkhart's looking at a big 4th and 2 here with 1:07 to go in the first half. And Robinson St. Louis says, guys, if we're going to be delayed and playing this again, let's come on over to the sidelines.
Yeah, they still got the head ref, side judge are both still just standing over here. Every time we do New Prairie, every single time it rains.
Can we just play football? Can we just play football? Just play. Play football. It's raining. It's fine. Let's just play. We'll just play.
It appeared we were playing it. I think that's Robinson St. Louis's problem right now, and he's out talking to the referee. Why would you throw a flag if we weren't started? And Mark Terry Sr. trying to discuss that with the second-year Elkhart head coach.
Meanwhile, Warsaw Northridge knotted up at 10 in the third quarter.
That game trying to decide the Northern Lakes Conference Championship. The winner would share the title with Mishawaka, assuming that the Cavemen beat Wawasee tonight. So 4th and 2 for Elkhart, which it has been for about the last 10 minutes. Now Logan Jellison lines up in punt formation. And Jellison able to get it away. It was nearly blocked, and he shanked it. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll see where the side judge decides to mark this. And it'll finally be marked at the 34, and that's where the Cougars will take over with 1 minute to go in the first half and 1 timeout remaining.
1 minute left. Cougars first and 10.
Angelo DiCarlo will likely be chatting with Robinson St. Louis as the teams leave for the first half. That could be a very interesting chat. So 1st and 10 from the 34 for New Prairie, going into the wind and the rain here at Elkhart's Rice Field. Marshall Kamichak with Brock Sinka to his right. And a bad snap, it's loose. Kamichak is taken down in a hurry. Tamari Morris comes in and makes the hit on the sack. And it's a loss of 8 on the play, and you'll get another look from R&B Car Company. The snaps have been a big problem for New Prairie tonight.
Yeah, I think that's one area that they're definitely going to have to work on next week before they go over to Hobart to take on the Brickies.
Yeah, that game will be at Amzie Miller Field at New Prairie. For Tamari Morris, that's his 4th sack of the season. It's a loss of 8 on the play. The clock continues to run, and Elkhart cannot stop it. This should likely be the last play of the first half. Brock Sinka runs through a hole and gets it up to the 35-yard line. And we'll see if New Prairie wants to take its last time out, but I think that's highly doubtful. Sinka with the carry, and the first half has come to an end here at Elkhart's Rice Field, which, if this were natural grass, would probably start to resemble a rice field out there. The Lions going off the field with an 8-0 lead on the New Prairie Cougars. And Angelo DiCarlo looking to have a chat with Elkhart head coach Robinson St. Louis. But Robinson St. Louis having a chat with one of the officials right now to talk things over before he gets a chance to talk with Anj. Now, here's Anj with the Bills Heating Sideline Report.
Coach, well, that was a wild first half. Just give me your initial thoughts.
We had one really good play offensively, and that's about it. Our defense is playing lights out. Our special teams doing a pretty good job, but we got to get all 3 phases of the ball playing better football. So we got to clean some things up, and I think we will, and I think our guys will come back more physical, more disciplined, a lot of flags, a lot of penalties, and we got to clean that up.
How has the rain affected things, and how does that affect maybe your strategy in the second half?
I mean, I want to say that it shouldn't affect it, but it is. We just got to remind our receivers to eye on the ball and probably use their body a little bit, or make sure their hands are dry. And we got to be able to pass. We can't be one-dimensional. But second half wise, we're going to still open it up. We're going to make plays. We got to make plays to win. That's a good football team, and we can't just not. We got to score more than 8 if we want to come out with a victory. So that's the communication I'm going to give to our guys.
Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Chuck and Bo, back to you.
Our Tony Letcher Health Market student athletes are next on 46.
Time now for our Tony Letcher Health Markets Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets. We're joined now by Ava Decker, 3-sport star from Elkhart, Reese Lipchinsky, 2-sport star from New Prairie. We'll start with Reese. Reese, you play football, basketball, starter in both ends, ranked 16th in your senior class. How do you make it all work and get those grades still continue to be so good while playing 2 sports?
I mean, I believe that having a good balance between the two is very important, for my future success. So I try my hardest in both ends, and that's all it really takes.
All right, you want to study international business and go to law school. Tell me a little bit more about that. Pretty specific on what your future goals are right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to travel the world, and so I thought that international business would be a good route to do that, and going to law school could just take me further in that regard, so I thought that'd be a good idea as well.
All right, how has New Prairie prepared you for the future? How have they helped you get to where you are today?
I have many great teachers, and they just give me great advice and just taking me beyond what I thought that my mind could go. They've done that, and they've done a great job at it. So,
Reese, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Ava Decker, senior here at Elkhart, 3-sport star, plays volleyball among track and field, diving, ranked #1 in the class at Elkhart of 707. How do you pull that off with playing 3 sports?
I just think that it takes hard work and dedication. Do your work and try your best.
What does it mean to you to be ranked #1?
It's pretty cool. It's really nice to be able to represent my class as well as I have, and I take pride in where I stand.
I know you're a little disappointed that the volleyball season has come to an end, but you're the NIC Volleyball MVP. You're going to go to Saginaw Valley State as well to play volleyball. What are you looking at in terms of a major and what you're hoping to be one day in terms of a job?
Currently, I'm looking into exercise science, maybe being a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. I'd just like to see where I can go, and I'm really excited to see where the next step takes me.
What has being an Elkhart Lion meant to you?
Really great, actually. It's given me a lot of great opportunities and standing points. I think I've had an excellent group of coaches that work with me, and I think that they've brought me very well to where I am now.
Ava, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Ava Decker from Elkhart, Reese Lepchinsky from New Prairie, our 46 Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets. We have your first half stats and highlights right after this on the TV46 Game of the Week.
And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Martin's Supermarkets. Count on us for all your grocery needs and more. 8-0, Elkhart leading New Prairie at the half as the Lions try to pull off a little bit of an upset here tonight and get their 4th win of the season. Welcome everybody inside the Martin Supermarkets broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt high above the fray, and this one hardly an artistic success.
It's very physical.
Yes, that's true.
I think that's the biggest key thing is both defenses are playing very physical. A little sloppy in the offense. Weather has a little bit to do with that, but I think the defenses have more to do with that than anything.
Yeah, the defenses have absolutely dominated except for one play in the first half, and it's actually the second play from the line of scrimmage tonight as Quinn Roth was able to find Nathan Munson behind the New Prairie secondary, and this play went for 84 yards and a touchdown. The extra point was missed, and Elkhart had itself a 6-0 lead, and they looked like they were going to be in business against New Prairie because the defense, Marion Dye with the sack there. The closing speed from the Division I recruit was impressive. Bad snaps were a story in the first half. This fumble could have been a story. Mo Harris with the recovery, but New Prairie's defense would come up with a big play as Matthew Source rocks Quinn Ross World with the sack right there. A bad snap over the head of Marshall Kamichek led to 2 more points from Elkhart in the second quarter to make it 8-0. And bad snaps were truly the story of the first half. Centers were having their issues, and defenses were coming up big. This was one of the 2 passes New Prairie was able to complete in the first half. But Marshall Kamichek most of the time was running for his life. Tamari Morris comes in with a hit here. And the offensive stats, not pretty when we put them up here.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those offensive stats, and you can understand the passings of 95 yards for Elkhart. Well,
84 came on one play.
Almost all of that was on one play. So you take that play out of there, you're looking at about 50 yards of total offense between the 2 teams for one half. 2 first downs. That tells a story there as well. I mean, the defenses are really playing tough. Yes, the weather has a little bit to do with it, and the snaps aren't the best, and so they're not getting in rhythm, but the defenses are really disrupting these offenses.
Yeah, offensive lines just can't get any kind of push against these defensive fronts, so we'll see what kind of adjustments Casey McKim and Bill Gum can make for the New Prairie offense in the second half. As the rain continues to fall in Elkhart, the Lions lead it 8-0. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Second half play-by-play from Soggy Rice Field comes your way after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Back here at Rice Field, the rain continues to fall with Elkhart leading New Prairie 8-0 as we get ready to begin the third quarter of play. The Cougars will be receiving, but what kind of adjustments is Casey McKim's squad getting ready to make? Let's go downstairs to Angelo DiCarlo for this Bills Heating sideline report.
Defense, no problem. Really pleased with the way they played outside of obviously the first drive of the game. Offensively, obviously they need to get something going. Coach McKim saying they just have not been able to get anything going. I asked him, hey, is there any lingering effects for Marshall Kamichek coming out of the strep throat? He says, if it is, it doesn't really matter, right? No excuses. We've got to figure out a way of getting the job done. Same goes for the rain. One way or another, they have to be able to move the football. They have to be able to make some catches out there, regardless of whether or not the rain is in play here in the second half. And the rain continuing to be steady here as we head for the third quarter.
Thank you very much, Anj. Yeah, it looks like it has picked up just judging by those puddles that we can see on the track here on our picture. The rain really coming down with a steadiness here and a higher intensity as Elkhart gets ready to kick it off here to begin the second half. And we'll see if perhaps the special teams with Reed Robinson back there to receive for New Prairie can help make something happen here for the Cougars.
To get ready to start the third quarter here in Elkhart. The Little Tavern in Rolling Prairie is our third quarter sponsor. They salute the New Prairie Cougars on an awesome season. If the Cougars win tonight, come in on Saturday with your ticket stub and receive 10% off your food. Check us out on Facebook at Little Tavern Rolling, and go Cougars.
As you take a look at Colin Krempek getting ready to kick it off for Elkhart. Robinson and Barsevich back deep for New Prairie to receive. 1/2 of football left in the regular season. Elkhart leading New Prairie by a count of 8-0. The officials feel like everybody's in place. Krempek on the approach, and the second half is underway at Elkhart. A high short kick that Robinson takes at his 20. Reed Robinson looking for a seam in this defense and found one, and he's finally tripped up on an open field tackle at about the 32, or he might have been taking that one to the house.
Yeah, nice little cutback by Robinson, able to bring across the grain, but great shoe tackle and open field tackle by the Lions. He could have been gone because Robinson's definitely got some speed.
Anthony Leonard is going to reach out here at the last minute, and right there, that little trip of the shoe tops was what brought Robinson down. So they spotted at the 32-yard line. Actually, the official on the side wants that ball moved up about a yard. But they're going to keep it at the 32. Kamichek has worked from the gun most of the night. He got under center for one snap earlier in this contest. He's got Brock Sinka standing to his right. A high snap, and Kamichek is able to corral it, and he'll just throw it out to the side and find Reese Lapchinsky for a first down. It's sponsored by Newegg Baking Company. Lapchinsky helps make the first big play of the night for the Cougars down to the Elkhart 49.
What a great design play by the Cougars coming out of half. Snap over the head, let everybody think he's going to run out of the end zone. And way to improvise by Kamichek, getting that ball downfield, picking up the big first down after a kind of a broken play.
That's the first we've seen Lapchinsky make a grab tonight. He is the leading receiver on this New Prairie team. That's his 18th catch of the season, and he has been a big play guy for them. Now Kamichek keeps it himself on the option, but can't get away from Oliver Yakey, who hauls him down from behind after a pickup of one.
Backside linebackers are just doing a great job of closing on Kamichek and not giving him any opportunity to pick up any yards. Just a 1-yard pickup again on first down for the Cougars.
It's senior night here in Elkhart, and you get the feeling that the seniors like Yakey on this Elkhart team are highly motivated tonight. They don't want their last game at Rice Field to end with a loss. So 2nd and 9 for Kamichek and company. It's Sinka going around the right side. He found a little hole and took it up to the 45-yard line. Actually, the 44, a pickup of 4 for Brock Sinka. He went right over the top of Darian Newsom. 5 carries, 13 yards tonight for Sinka. As you take a look at Newsom, who has had a terrific year at safety for Elkhart. He is their leading tackler on the year.
One of the things Elkhart's really doing with their safeties and corners is on run plays of really attacking the line and coming up. And one of the things I noticed in the first half, a couple of times, if New Prairie would have broke a tackle, there was nobody behind. So a lot of these times when they're really breaking down, it could be a big play for New Prairie.
So New Prairie's going to take a timeout. There seemed to be a little confusion for the Cougars over there. Meanwhile, here at Rice Field, we are almost to a very special anniversary for this facility because it was on October 23rd, 1923, that the Rensselaer Bombers came in to play the first game ever here at Elkhart's Rice Field on this very site. Obviously, there wasn't field turf back then.
Nope.
But still, you think of the history at this facility and the great teams that have come through here. They have 4 state championship banners down at the north end of this facility. The oldest one from back in 1924.
1924. Just a lot of history. There you can see them all. posted their state football champions back in 1970s and 68. And Chuck, you remember those?
Well, in 1970, I would have been 5 years old, but I certainly remember some guys like Mike Stock, who went on to play at Alabama, played in the Sugar Bowl against Notre Dame, and Schaefer Suggs, who had a terrific career in the NFL with the New York Jets. Kamichek handles the high snap, finds Reese Lapchinsky, and he's off to the races. Darian Newsom will finally hold him down from behind at the 16-yard line, but that's a pickup of 28 and a first down, sponsored by New Age Baking Company.
There you can see the R&B Car Company replay. Just a great job of getting the ball after a bad snap, getting it out to Reese. Again, just that one, I talked about one little broken tackle or one guy not making that tackle, and you're going to have some big pickups, and right there we just saw it.
That was the freshman Frankie Willis kind of taking a bad route to Lapchinsky that time, and Lapchinsky made him pay. 1st and 10 for the Cougars from the Elkhart 16, their deepest penetration of the night. Cinca, the running back, he'll take it and try to weave his way through traffic, and C.D. McPhee will have none of it. The 290-pound wrestler for Elkhart tosses Cinca aside and then has some words for the Cougar bench.
Yeah, I think the Cougar bench wanted a little bit of a roughing at the end of the play there. You can see Dye come in there a little bit too and kind of take Cinca down on the ground. Really didn't take him down on the ground, kind of just threw their body weight on him.
Meanwhile, no gain on the play. They spot the ball back at the 16-yard line. They're actually going to give him the 15, so give him a yard on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 9.
Forward progress on that play.
Now Cinca goes out into the slot at the bottom of your screen with Lapchinsky wide. Kamichek, the quarterback, and he's looking left. Hill's going to run it, and he's trying to get away from Logan Jellison. Broke one tackle, and Kamichek bulls his way forward to about the 8-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
Flag comes in right towards the end of the play, right at the play. A lot of times that's either a hold or a face mask. We're going to see here.
And we're still waiting for a signal. It's a helping the runner penalty called on New Prairie.
You cannot have the bush push in high school.
And so there is going to be a mark off against the Cougars of 5 yards from the spot of the infraction, and it takes it back to the 15-yard line. They'll repeat 2nd down. Watch here at the end of the play. Kamichek kind of gets nabbed there, and then 65 comes in and starts pushing the pile, and that was the penalty. Can't really blame a high school kid. You see it allowed at the college and pro level.
Yeah. Especially at the pro level right now, nowadays, that's actually the new 4th down play in goal line plays.
2nd and 9. Kamichek will roll to his right. Dye in pursuit. Kamichek throws, and it's almost intercepted. Frankie Willis had his hands on it.
I saw that play develop and looked like he had Lapchinsky wide open and just underthrew it, and he kind of cut the route.
Oh, and if Frankie Willis hangs on to this one, it could be a 100-yard foot race. Instead, it's 3rd and 9. There you see the freshman Willis. We told you earlier the coach is so high on this 6'1", 150-pounder.
McAllister Machinery Company is Indiana's Caterpillar and leading heavy equipment dealer. They're a 3rd-generation family-owned business since 1945. Looking for careers opportunities? Look at McAllister.com/careers.
On 3rd and 9, Kamichek looks to throw. Jellison in pursuit, lobs it out there, and Lapchinsky makes the catch. Touchdown, New Prairie. Reese Lapchinsky with a falling catch in the end zone for the score, and the Cougars are a 2-point conversion away from tying it up.
Yeah, just kind of Kamichek threw the ball up, had some pressure, and just tried to throw it up for Lapchinsky. Fell down, maintained his eye contact, got away with a little face mask on the defensive side there. Got lucky he didn't pull his head away from that ball. What concentration he had.
New Prairie continuing to attack the freshman Willis, even though he had nearly made a play on the play before. So now trailing by 2. Kmiecek and his offense will try to set up for a game-tying score.
This is almost a guaranteed run to the right.
It is Kmiecek, but he's going to look to pull the trigger. Has no one to throw to. Now fires, and it's incomplete. He had multiple receivers, but multiple defenders in the area. And Elkhart hangs on to an 8-6 lead despite the touchdown pass from Kmiecek to Lapchinski. New Prairie's first points in 7 quarters bring the Cougars back within 2. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you by Health Blankets, your community health center. And there you see Reese Lapchinski on the sidelines after that big touchdown catch, his 9th touchdown of the season, getting the Cougars back to within 2 at 8-6. And you see the rain continuing to pelt down here at Elkhart's Rice Field. They're calling for over an inch of rain, maybe even an inch and a half by the end of the storm. The good news about it, it's the kind of storm that doesn't come with any thunder or lightning, so we play on.
None. I think the closest we saw was back in Davenport. So we got a while before any of that thunder gets to this area, if it gets here at all.
Owen Chalik will do the kicking for New Prairie. He's on the approach. A high spinning kick taken by one of the Elkhart upmen at the 22-yard line. It is being brought back by Keelan Fred, and it is returned to about the 35-yard line, and that's where Elkhart will have it 1st and 10.
At Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time and wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
Quinn Ross, the Elkhart quarterback, 3 of 6 in the first half for 95 yards passing and a touchdown. Connor Dow is running back, who is at his left right now, 13 carries for 32 yards to lead the Lion rushing attack. Zach Anderson in motion, but it's Dow trying to go up the middle, and he is taken down by Aiden Ziegler right at the line of scrimmage. Ziegler, one of the defensive ends, a wrestler on the New Prairie wrestling team, comes in, makes the stop. The senior having a good season.
Year in and year out, that wrestling team over at New Prairie is very formidable in the state finals.
Coach Whitenack, who's also an assistant coach on the football team, does a terrific job with that program. You see the rain dripping off Quinn Ross' helmet as he oversees the situation. On 2nd and 10, Ross quick throw, and it is dropped. It went through the hands of Zach Anderson.
I really like the play call, though, right up the middle, trying to attack the middle of the field with a quick play. Just threw it just a little bit off and behind, but he hit both hands. Gotta have that.
Yeah, it may have been off to the side, but that is the second time tonight, Bo, that we've seen receivers try to catch the ball, cupping their hands inward instead of turning their hands outward and forming that triangle.
Yep, you gotta use your hands, especially in bad conditions. You get to bad conditions, you think you gotta change, you don't.
On 3rd and 10, Ross' ball was tipped, and it was behind Zach Anderson and incomplete.
The New Prairie Touchdown Club would like to wish the team good luck in the game and in the weeks ahead. We hope you have a successful journey as you work to get to Indy. Go Cougars from the New Prairie Touchdown Club.
So the New Prairie defensive line does its job there. They keep the Elkhart offense in check, and now Logan Jellison will have to try to kick it away. Reese Lapchinski stands back deep at his own 33-yard line. Jellison gets this one away, and it'll go out of bounds, and that's about the second punt in a row that he has shanked a little bit. And let's see where the side judge decides to mark this one. He'll put it down at the 31, so it wasn't as bad a shank as we thought. Actually winds up being a pretty effective punt.
Yeah, it looked like it wasn't going to be that far down, but they're still walking up. They're actually going to change where it is. There we go.
Now they're going to spot it at the 39. Boy, that sure seems like a guessing situation there.
Yeah, that That was one of those where it looked like the side judge thought it went out of bounds, I think right at the 31, which it actually had gone out before at the 39.
So New Prairie picks up 8 yards on that little decision. Marshall Kamichek was effective throwing the ball on that last drive after only 23 yards in the first half. He completed 3 passes for 60 yards on New Prairie's last drive, and we'll see what they can do right here. And the officials still having problems spotting the football here.
Well, I think the ball went out of bounds on the sideline, so they got to put it on the hash mark and not in the middle of the field.
7:08 to go, third quarter. You see the clock in the corner of your Tire Rack scoreboard. Kamichek takes the snap, rolls, getting away from pursuit, and his low throw is received by Reese Lapchinsky for 12 yards and a first down, sponsored by New Age Baking Company.
Well, I think you can see the adjustments New Prairie went to it from halftime as they're going to that pass and attack regardless of this weather, because they understand they cannot move the ball on the ground very effectively against this Lions defense.
Lapchinsky, who didn't have a catch in the first half, now has 3 for 59 yards here in the third quarter.
I think they're hoping the passing game opens up that running game just a little bit more.
And sometimes that is the factor. Reed Robinson, the running back, next to Kamichek. And it's Robinson trying to take it to the outside. Good blocking in front of him. Goes up to the Elkhart 45. Pick up a 4 on the play before E.J. Aguirre brought him down.
Little big shout out to Little Caesars Pizza of Elkhart for feeding our crew tonight. Life is busy and Little Caesars Pizza understands. Their fast service and great low prices will have you taken care of and out the door in no time. Little Caesars hot and ready items are ready to go when you are. Remember to use their app and order with the pickup at the portal to avoid lines. Little Caesars with three locations in Elkhart. Pizza, pizza.
2nd and 6. Kamichek drops to throw, fires a bullet. It's incomplete. And he took a hit from Marion Dye as he got rid of that football. Dye, a young man who's getting all kinds of Division I offers. In fact, he picked up one from USC earlier this week. And he was in the grill of Marshall Kamichek.
Seen him a few times over the years, especially this year. Just phenomenal closing speed and strength that he has.
And Prairie looking at a 3rd and 6. There's Marion Dye, hoping to apply pressure again. But it's Reed Robinson running away from Dye into the other side of the field. Yakey was in on the tackle along with Mo Harris, who's a little slow to get up. Harris has been banged up much of the year. Robinson picking up 3 on that carry.
Be interesting to see if they punt and try to get him inside the 10 and play that field position, because of New Prairie's defense has been really solid.
That appears to be the thought process of Casey McKim right here. As you see, Casey now in his 4th season at New Prairie. He's 35-12. Of course, they were the 4A runner-up a year ago. Good snap to Kamichek this time, and he'll try to pooch it over towards the side. It's taken by Frankie Willis at the 12. He's got some room to run. Willis is shifty. Willis is elusive, and he gets to the 37-yard line. A 25-yard return for the freshman, and Elkhart will have good field position with 5:12 to go, third quarter. When we come back, the Lions with an 8-6 lead on New Prairie in this NIC matchup on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, keeping education in front of athletics. We keep Angelo DiCarlo in front of the sidelines with the Bills Heating Sideline Report. Your impressions on this 1 through 3?
Well, I think this is actually good preparation for the playoffs, because this is a survival game, right? Nothing's really working out too well for either team. You're just trying to win and survive in the elements. That could pay dividends off, because that's going to probably happen come postseason. By the way, one injury update. Connor Dow likely will not return to this game for Elkhart. He's been in the medical tent since he left the game earlier in the third quarter.
All right, thanks a lot, Anj, and congratulations to Bart Curtis and the Warsaw Tigers, Keith Kinder and the Mishawaka Cavemen. They split the Northern Lakes Conference title tonight after Warsaw picked up a 24-10 win over Northridge down at Fisher Field.
No final in that Mishawaka game, but they were running clock in the second half.
Well, we do have a final now in the Mishawaka game as they beat Wawasee 41-22. They were up 41-0, so give Wawasee credit for a strong second half. Here's the snap to Marshall Kamichak to start the fourth quarter. He's throwing for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Bo Kamichak got away with a pretty good push-off on Frankie Willis there.
Maybe that's why he's been getting behind the defenders as of recently. Little push off there. You can see the RB Car Company replay. Nice air though. Just got a couple of hands on the defender.
So it'll be a 3rd and 5 situation here for the Cougars at the Elkhart 17-yard line. Certainly 4-down territory here.
Play clock already down to 9.
Prairie has had some problems getting plays in quickly at times tonight. But Kamichak gets the snap off, gives it to Reed Robinson, and Robinson runs into a wall of Elkhart defenders. E.J. Aguirre was there again to make the stop. It'll be 4th down, and it looks as though the field goal unit is coming out here for New Prairie. They do have the wind at the back of Owen Chalik, who is 2 for 3 on field goals this year.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is the wind is at his back. The negative, the ball's wet. The holder hasn't been in there all game. And so we're going to see what happens here.
Trenton Mamaza is the holder. Chalik will be making a 34-yard attempt from the right hash. The snap's so important. It's clean. The kick is on its way, and it is good. So with 11:02 to go in the game, New Prairie grabs its first lead of the night as Owen Chalik boots a 34-yard field goal to give the Cougars a 9-8 lead.
What a great execution of that play. You've seen bad snaps all night. You have guys that have come in, haven't been in all game, come into this situation, crucial situation. It comes up with a big kick, a big hold as well.
What a great kick by Chalik. And now we'll see how that impacts Elkhart, which has had to face adversity at times this year and hasn't always responded well.
At Sanders and Pianowski, professional service to their clients is their first and compelling priority. The firm of Sanders and Pianowski want to take time and wish both teams well in tonight's game. Serving the Elkhart community for decades and decades yet to come, Sanders and Pianowski on the Riverwalk in downtown Elkhart.
So New Prairie grabbing the lead for the first time tonight at 9-8, trying to pick up win number 7 of the year. And as we've mentioned a couple of times tonight, they have Hobart waiting for them in the first round of the tournament. A lot of people think that is the 2 best teams in that sectional going head to head in the first round.
Yeah, a lot of times, because it's a blind draw, a lot of times it matches up to where the 2 teams meet in the sectional final. But a lot of teams are like, hey, let's just play first round. Better off getting them in that first game and finding out if you're the real deal or not.
You certainly have your team's attention as you enter the tournament. Chalik with a spinning kick to the far side. Elkhart has problems fielding it and finally falls it up at the 18.
Yeah, a little miscommunication on that. I think he thought the up man was going to get that ball.
Well, they went to the other side of Willis that time too, so that was a good directional kick by Chalik to take it out of the hands of Elkhart's best return man. And now Quinn Ross, who hasn't been able to put any points on the board for this Elkhart offense since the second play of the game, has to find a way to drive his team down to the field into the win.
And this is about the same area where he made that little pass play to his receiver for the 84-yard pickup.
It was Nathan Munson on an 84-yard catch on the second play of the game. But here, Elkhart running the ball with Anthony Leonard getting to the outside. You heard Connor Dow out for the game, so Leonard takes over the running back duties, and he picks up 5 on that carry.
Richard Robinson with Robinson Financial LLC is a proud New Prairie alum and parent. Let us become your financial resource. Call us at 574-988-0020. 25, and go Cougars from Robinson Financial LLC.
Leonard has averaged 6 yards a carry this year, but he's not going to get nearly that much here because Trenton Clute closes down from the linebacker position to make the stop. Clute coming up with the big stop there. Meanwhile, we've got a flag on the play. And it's an illegal shift.
I think something both teams need to clean up before next week. I know it's sloppy and rainy and the conditions aren't bad, but the penalties, some unnecessary penalties for both teams tonight.
Yeah, that's a penalty that has nothing to do with rain. That's a matter of just not having some timing down. So a 5-yard penalty against the Lions, 4 penalties, 40 yards tonight on Elkhart. And all of a sudden, instead of looking at a 2nd and 4, they're at 2nd and 9. Ross wants to throw. Shot puts it out there and has his man, Cade Tyrakowski, up to about the 30-yard line. That's good for an Elkhart first down. 10-yard pickup on the play. You'll get another look here from R&B Car Company.
Nice little play. Get the ball out there. Again, a little bit different balls that Elkhart's using versus what New Prairie's using. Remember, each offense uses their own ball from the schools.
It really seems like since the rain picked up, Rost has had problems getting the kind of grip that you want to have on the football. Rost has time here, rolls out, sets his feet and throws down the field, and it is incomplete. He was looking for Tyrakowski, and Reese Lapchinsky came over to break it up.
Looks like we have an eligible man downfield as well.
Not surprising with as much time as Rost had to throw there.
Looked like they were maybe trying to run a screen play out to the left on that play, and when it was really covered, he had to look for somebody deep. And like you said, a lot of times when that happens, the linemen get a little anxious and start heading downfield when it's supposed to be a quick pass play.
And Casey McKim will decline the penalty here and set up 2nd and 10. He doesn't want to give Rost more chances with the football here. We'll see if Ross can come back and hit something here as he checks the play card on his wrist. Play clock hasn't even started yet. .9:34 to go in this one. New Prairie by a singleton. They were down 8-0 and have scored the last 9. Munson in motion, and now everybody in motion.
Well, I'm not sure if that was on the center or just everybody that thought it was on a different cadence.
Certainly there were enough people that didn't know the snap count.
Yeah. Again, back-to-back penalties. One declined because of the incomplete pass, but again, moving it back.
And here's the consistency that Robinson St. Louis has spoke of. Elkhart playing pretty decent football for 2.5 quarters, as we saw them do against Penn, and then becoming its own worst enemy. Not to take anything away from New Prairie, but Elkhart's playing itself right now, too. Pressure coming, and Ross' throw is knocked down, and it's incomplete.
Almost looked like it slipped out of his hand. He definitely had big pressure, but it almost looked like it slipped out of his hands before he even threw the ball. They're going to call it an incomplete pass, but that was very close to slipping out of his hands and fumbled before he even threw it, tried to throw it.
New Prairie defensive line of Dylan Wilson, Isaac Frank, and Aiden Ziegler have been able to create havoc tonight on defense. We haven't called Frank's name enough, but he's a nose tackle, and he's helped gum up the works on the inside. 3rd down. A bubble screen to Tyrakowski. He drops the football, and New Prairie's got it. Oh, is it still loose? It looked like the Cougars had it, and I can't tell now who at the bottom of the pile does. Cougars say they have it, and they do. New Prairie comes away with the football. It looked like Hayden Scott, the safety, picked it up. And New Prairie will take over in Elkhart field position at the 36. You get another look. Ty Rakowski had it, was moving it back and forth, and knocked it out of his own hands.
Yeah, he didn't even have contact. He knocked it out of his own hands. That was a great play call. He had all the blockers set up as well. Looked like he got ahead of a few of them. He could have let them get in front, but he was just trying to move that ball in his hands, not properly crossing the arm, grabbing the nose. And
now Reed Robinson trying to get to the outside, get a little bit of running room, breaks one tackle, and Maurice Harris brings him down at about the 32-yard line after a pickup of 5.
5-Star Sheets, FS Transportation in New Carlisle is proud to support the Cougars and salutes all the fall sports athletes for their dedication. 5-Star Sheets, FS Transportation is accepting applications for CDL drivers, garage technicians, forklift drivers, and production. Visit 5starsheets.com.
New Prairie finally starting to get that running game on track. Elkhart's defense has to come up with a big play here after the Lions made their first turnover of the game. It's 2nd and 4. Kamichek gives it off to Sinka. Sinka found some running room on the left side. Frankie Willis with a sure tackle just short of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd down. Boy, there's been some really good tackling in this game tonight, but we have not seen a lot of missed tackles even in the open field.
No, even in the open field, like you said, not a lot of missed tackles. And again, that momentum that New Prairie has, they're really able to get it going here in the second half with that running game.
3rd and 1. This is more of the New Prairie football we've become accustomed to over the years. Sinka next to Kamichek, and it's Sinka on the carry, breaks a tackle, and gets the first down. It's sponsored by New Age Baking Company.
Just as you said that, a little broken tackle right in the backfield. Elkhart had him for a loss of yards, but Sinka driving those legs, able to pick up the first down. Here you can see that on the RB Car Company. Great job. Gets hit, stood up. Little sidestep, keep driving the legs, ability to pick up the first down.
C.D. McPhee couldn't hang on, and then Sinka was able to break away. We talked about him as a runner with attitude. And the track and golf standout comes through there. 1st and 10 from the Elkhart 25. Low snap through the legs of Kamichek, but he's able to roll away, spin away from a tackler. McPhee brings him down for a loss of 1, but it could have been a lot worse.
Wow, what a recovery by Marshall on that play again. A bad snap. Been kind of their Achilles heel all night. Looks like Elkhart got away with a little bit of a face mask there on the end.
Meanwhile, Mo Harris had to leave the game with an injury. And E.J. Aguirre checking out as Tyreek House checks in. So Elkhart kind of putting the defense together with a little bit of bailing wire right here as New Prairie looks at the 2nd and 11. And they'll give it off to Brock Sinka again, trying to get to the outside. Sinka runs out of bounds after he gets to the 20. That's a pickup of 5 on the play.
It's game day in Raising Cane's, and the only play you'll running is chicken. And what combo you're picking? Order like a champ and pick up some hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy, crinkle-cut fries, and tangy cane sauce for your game day meal. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
You saw a soggy Casey McKim over on the sidelines, trying to guide his team to win number 7 of the year. 6:24 stand between the Cougars and that. The ball at the Elkhart 19, looking at 3rd and 4. Reed Robinson back in the lineup, taking the place of Sinka. Kamichek will roll to his left, cut it up the field, have the first down up to the 15-yard line. He'll be awfully close if he doesn't have it, but based on where the official is standing, it looks like he's got the first down.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to place the ball right there, move the change, and another New Age Baking Company first down for the Cougars.
The New Prairie rushing totals aren't going to wow anybody tonight, but the second half has been so much better than the first. They have 52 yards rushing in the second half compared to 12 in the first.
And it was hard rushing. Every yard, every inch has been earned tonight.
1st and 10 at the 15. Now really putting Trayvon Curry's defense to the test. Reed Robinson getting around the corner to the outside. And when he got cut back in, plenty of blue jerseys there for him. Newsom did a good job forcing him back to the inside, and guys like Willis and Huckleberry were waiting for him there.
I think the Cougars really enjoy this drive too, because of the time that they're taking off their clock, their ability to run many plays and pick up the first down after first down has taken a significant chunk out of this game clock.
It is also limiting the opportunities for Rost and the Elkhart offense, who have been stagnant since the first quarter. Here's Robinson, kind of hesitating, finding some holes, and that Elkhart defense may be starting to wear down a little bit as Robinson able to plow his way up to the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Imaginarian Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imaginarian is always working toward a great finish. Thank you, Imaginarian, for your continued support of high school sports on TV 46.
Jonathan Klasinski and Henry Laskowski had big blocks on that run. Play clock is down to 7, and I think a timeout has been called here by New Prairie with 4:37 to go. Cougars trying to add to a 9-8 lead. We'll see what they do when we come back. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Elkhart snaps it to Quinn Rost, who throws out in the flat. Cade Tyrakowski makes the catch at the 43-yard line. Pickup of 8 on the play. First catch for Tyrakowski tonight.
Looks like Elkhart's trying to do a little bit more of a speed up they did in that last play offense-wise. Just doing little quick hitters. Rost had a nice little throw after the ball kind of slipped a little bit in his hands off there to the snap.
Not surprised that happens tonight. Ross now over 100 yards passing on the night at 2nd and 2. Blitzer coming. Connor Dow trying to run away from it and couldn't do it. Dylan Wilson gets him around the waist and brings him down for a tackle for loss. Back at the 41-yard line is where it looks like it'll be spotted.
Just a great blitz by Wilson coming on the backside. Great timing as well, because he was in the backfield and almost could have taken that handoff because of the bad snap as well.
Wilson has had a very strong season. That's his 4th tackle for loss this year. He was an All-NIC selection a year ago. And now it forces Elkhart into a 3rd and 4. But again, I think the timing of that play was disrupted by a little bobble with the wet football. Play clock down to 3. Rost will give it off to Dow. Had blockers in front. Plows forward for the first down to the 46-yard line. Nathan Munson, the H-back, leading the charge that time.
That was a great job of the lead blockers actually making blocks and allowing him to get upfield for the first down.
They really lined up in like a power offset eye that time, where Munson was able to use that 230-yard frame to move the football.
Yeah, a little bit of an unbalanced look, a little bit of a power eye, but not the normal power eye in the backfield. It was off to the side of the shotgun.
Low snap. Rost was able to handle it, but he can't get a handle on the football. He's shot putting him right now.
I was just going to say, it's almost like he's shot putting that football over there. They need to get some new footballs in there for that quarterback, so Quinn has a little bit better grip on that pigskin.
Well, we saw him ding up his shoulder in the game against Penn when Vinnie Freeman laid a hit onto him. And I wonder if in a little bit colder and damper condition, he's too young to have arthritis, but those aches and pains can get to you on a night like this.
They definitely can.
2nd and 10. They'll hand it off to Dow, and Dow trying to go behind his offensive line, but this time New Prairie able to push him back after a pickup of 2. Cougars say they have the football.
Yeah, I think they blew the
No indication from the officials that that is true.
Side judge both.
And An official's timeout is called, but they say Elkhart still has the football.
3rd and 8.
Ball will be spotted at the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 8. Quinn Ross looking over to the sideline. Play clock finally going. But all kinds of confusion for Elkhart here on the call as players are coming in late. Anthony Leonard doesn't really know where to line up. Now Ross trying to elude tacklers, and he's taken down. That was just a disaster from the word go.
Yeah, it looked like it was an all-out blitz. As soon as New Prairie saw them put 5 wide out there, they're like, we're going to bring the pressure and not give you any time to throw this ball. And with guys coming on late, trying to get them, the play called, smart thing here is to punt this one away.
Were you a little surprised Elkhart didn't take a timeout there?
Yeah, for the most part. I was surprised on the play before that one. They had some little bit of confusion, I thought, as well. But that play for sure. Early here in the third quarter.
Jellison with a good punt. Elkhart has been winning the special teams battle tonight, and they'll get a victory here as well as that ball goes out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And that's another 38-yard punt for Logan Jellison tonight.
The New Prairie Athletic Department would like to thank student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans for all they do to help support and promote education-based athletics. Go Cougars from the New Prairie Athletic Department.
So back at the 17-yard line, New Prairie has to try to march 83 yards here with 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter, trailing by 2. Christian Johnson, the center, leads them up to the line of scrimmage. You can see the water starting to wreak a little havoc on our cameras, too. Kamichek trying to roll out and has some running room, and Kamichek tripped up in the open field after a pickup of 5. The stop made that time by London Johnson, one of the cornerbacks. You'll get another look here from R&B Car Company. Well, actually, you'll see us cleaning off our lens right now.
Johnson on the tackle.
6-yard pickup for Kamichek on the play. And it's 2nd and 4. Kamichek hands it off. Reed Robinson looking for running room, getting to the outside, got past Newsom, and is able to get the first down. London Johnson ran him out of bounds, but was there a flag? Yes, there was. It looked like there was some holding going on by New Prairie on that play, which is why Newsom couldn't get to the outside.
Well, a lot of that happens when Robinson cut to the inside and then bounced it back to the outside. What happens is that defender goes in, and so you start blocking him that way, and then when he goes back to go out, it's hard not to go ahead and grab that jersey. But I love the way Robinson kind of cut in and then cut back out and bounced it to the outside. But again, your offensive line has to understand that they can't grab a hold of jersey just because of that.
So the holding call against New Prairie will march them back 10 yards and set up a 2nd down and 14.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. There's no better way to make sure your athlete is ready to play than with a sports physical. Call HealthLink and schedule an appointment today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more.
Minute 39 to go, third quarter. Kamichek wants to throw. Heaves it out there. He's got a man. Bo Kamichek makes the catch at the 40 and goes out of bounds at the 48. A first down sponsored by New Ag Baking Company. 34 yards on the brotherly connection. Here's another look from R&B Car Company. Beautifully thrown ball by Marshall Kamichek.
Just a great job of getting that downfield. Looked like the defenders kind of lost where Bo was kind of coming across the field and kind of tried to undercut a little bit, and Marshall was able to get it to his brother Bo.
So now New Prairie looking at 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Elkhart's defense trying to get people set out there right now. And a whistle, and now what's the problem? Flag thrown by the back judge for a delay of game. So that's a 5-yard penalty against New Prairie, their 4th penalty of the night. As Casey McKim paces the sidelines making notes.
Yeah, just as they picked up another first down sponsored by New Age Baking Company in downtown New Carlisle. They have fresh donuts daily and open Wednesday through Sunday. Pop in and try the breakfast pizza. That's New Age Baking Company.
So 1st and 15. Cougars still in their own territory after that big play. As you see Marshall Kamichek in the backfield next to Reed Robinson. Kamichek looks to throw. Now tucks it under and runs, and he'll get his way up to the 50-yard line before Max Huckleberry brings him down. And Kamichek finally in positive yardage for the night.
Here you can see on the R&B Car Company replay. Well, we started to have it. There it is. Kamichek with a good job of just driving in and up the field, getting most of the penalty back and a little bit extra.
So now 2nd and 6. New Prairie just past the midfield stripe. Kamichek rolling right. Under pressure, throws, and it is incomplete.
Almost picked off by Elkhart.
Looked like London Johnson was in the neighborhood that time as he dove in to make the play. And New Prairie looking at a big 3rd and 6 right here. Trailing by 2.
We've felt like we've had some big 3rd downs in this game already, and here's another one. Just an opportunity again to sustain this drive, trying to pick up another 1st down to get into a little bit deeper into Elkhart territory.
And we've got another whistle.
They're resetting the play clock again.
By the way, congratulations to the Marion Knights. They win the Holy War tonight over St. Joe by a count of 16-10. Marion with a big game with West Noble next week in the 3A sectional. 3rd and 6. Kamichek wants to throw, stepping up in the pocket, delivers. Bo Kamichek's out there again, and he makes the grab at the 24, a 25-yard pickup that time. And that brotherly connection has 3 catches for 77 yards.
He just got behind the defenders again. Bo has a great knack for getting behind the defenders, and the defenders are trying to undercut the routes too much, and Marshall's got enough air under the ball to get it over those defenders for a big pickup.
So 1st and 10 from the 22.
Another 1st down sponsored by New Age Baking Company.
Kamichek gives it to Reed Robinson. Robinson gets some blocking, runs into Darian Newsom and goes down after a pickup of 5.
Can start to feel a little momentum with this New Prairie offense, starting to get a little things rolling, starting to pick up that running game just a tad.
Well, you talked about the passing game opening up the running game in the first half, and that's what it appears to have done here in the 3rd quarter. A 3rd quarter that appears to be coming to an end here at Elkhart's Rice Field, as New Prairie will have the wind at its back as they go southward here in the 4th. The only points of the quarter scored on this play. Marshall Kamichek to a falling Reese Lepchinski in the end zone, and the Cougars have come back within 2 as we head to the 4th. 8-6 Elkhart on 46. Edition of the 46 game of the week being brought to you by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. That's Marshall Kamichek leading this New Prairie squad onto the field. Looking at a 3rd and 2 here. With 4:37 to go in this one, and the Cougars trying to add to a 1-point lead. Huge down here for the Elkhart defense. Prairie obviously would love to get the first down here, but if Elkhart can force them to kick a field goal, that would still make it a game where Elkhart needed a touchdown to win it. Kamichek will keep it and run and get close to the 5-yard line. That's where he had to get for the first down. The official saying he's short of the chains. It'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to place it just short of the 5-yard line. There.
And I think they might even want to bring the chains out for a measurement.
Actually, Elkhart timeout, sponsored by Sanders and Pianowski.
At the very end of the play, yeah, Kamichek was definitely short of the first down marker. And so Casey McKim and Bill Gum will talk things over there. It's almost a no-lose situation here for New Prairie, though, if they go for it, because even if they don't get the first down, Elkhart's going to go the length of the field. Let's go downstairs to Angelo DiCarlo with the Bills Heating sideline report.
I was actually just thinking the same thing, Chuck. With these weather conditions, you're almost better off going for it because worst case scenario, Elkhart's got to go to the length of the field. Can they kick a field goal if they go it? They might have to basically go 95 yards for a touchdown to win it. A field goal would actually just give Elkhart more of an opportunity in terms of a return, perhaps, on a kickoff to get decent field position. So you might be better off just going for it here.
And obviously the positive of that, Ange, is if they do get the first down, they get a chance to whittle even more time off of this clock with only 4:21 left.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. If they do pick up just the, half a yard that they need or less, I think the biggest thing is being able to have a play called where they're going to pick up the first down.
Jumbo set here for New Prairie. You think they're running off the right side? Look at all the bodies over there. Kamichek's going that way. He got the first down as he gets pulled across the 5-yard line to the 4.
Wow. He got pulled. He got stood up, but then when they were trying to pull him down, you can see right here, he kind of falls backwards.
Well, he got some help from his own player. Which a penalty was called on that earlier in the game, but it's a little tougher to see that in the middle of the tackle.
Yeah.
New Age Baking Company sponsors that first down.
Hey, in that situation, you got to go ahead and do what you can to try to pick up the first down, and if they don't call it, then more time off the clock for the Cougars.
Heads up play by Cinca, first down and goal from the 4. And it's Cinca getting the carry and getting the touchdown, New Prairie. Brock Cinca takes it in from 4 yards out. And New Prairie with a 15-8 lead will kick the extra point. But watch Cinca just show great patience, make a nice cut, and his offensive line gave him a pretty good size hole. The guys on that side, Dominic Sisk and Henry Leszkowski, Nolan Freeman, all doing a superb job of clearing the path. Chalik, who has a field goal already tonight, dealt with the high snap, and the kick is up and good. And New Prairie has scored 16 in a row here in the second half to take a 16-8 lead on Elkhart with 3:41 left. You get another look from R&B Car Company.
Yeah, just a great job in the last 2 plays by Cinca. That one really fouling his block, but the play before that where he was able to knock Kamichek forward for the first down, just a heads-up play, just the ability to somebody with his leadership and his ability out there in the field and understanding the situation. Just great 2 smart heads-up plays and 1 especially for the touchdown.
Nolan Freeman with a good block there from his tight end spot. As Cinca, you look at him, you think, that's a pretty sturdy young man. He squats 430, so that's not a bad start.
That's not a bad start either. I would say so.
1st and 10 coming up for Elkhart after this kickoff from Owen Chalik. And we'll see if he's able to kick it away again from Frankie Willis.
Martin Supermarkets, groceries to go. Ain't no subscriptions are now available. They're just $29.99 for the year. You get ad pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
So let's see where Chalik decides to try to put this football. Frankie Willis is trying to cheat a little bit more to the middle of the field here, I noticed, down at the return end. Willis wears number 36. Chalik with a high kick over to the right side. It's fielded out there by Elkhart, and running the ball up the field here for the Lions is Alfonso Newbern. And Newbern takes it up to the 30-yard line. So the Lions have to go 70 yards in 3:34 with 2 timeouts remaining, and then hit the 2-point conversion as well.
And that's just to tie the game, to force it to go to overtime possibly. Saw a great overtime game here between Elkhart and Penn a couple years ago.
And we also have seen some classics between both Elkhart and Elkhart Central and New Prairie here at Rice Field. So will this one be another thriller that comes down to the wire? We shall see. Not with a play like that. Snap through the legs of Rost, and that'll be a huge loss on first down all the way back to the 13-yard line. A loss of 19 on the play.
Wow, what a way to start the last drive. Just a bad snap through the legs, one that looked like Quinn might have been able to grab, but looked like it came a little bit early too.
We talked about how the running game has picked up for New Prairie in the second half. It has not for Elkhart in the second half. They have been stymied by this New Prairie offense. Just 1 first down for the Lions here in the second half. Rost looks to throw here, fires it, and it's a little bit low and incomplete. He was trying to go for Cade Tyrakowski, but Reese Lapchinsky, who's had a solid game tonight, comes up with the defense there.
Big shout out to New Age Baking Company, first down sponsors for New Prairie tonight. The New Age Baking Company in downtown New Carlisle has fresh donuts daily, and they're open Wednesdays through Sundays. Pop in and try their breakfast pizza as well. The New Age Baking Company.
Ross now looking at a 3rd and 30. He's going to fire out in the flat, and a diving catch is made out there by Keelan Fred, but it's only good enough for about 3 yards. So 4th
continues
down,
to run.
Punting situation here. Logan Jellison will have to boot it away, and then the Elkhart defense is going to have to start trying to strip the football.
Yeah, they still got 2 timeouts, but they got to get guys on the field and get lined up and get this punt away.
New Prairie not even putting anybody back deep for this punt. They're more concerned about making sure that Elkhart doesn't try a fake for a first down, but Jellison boots it away. It'll take an Elkhart roll, but New Prairie doesn't care where they get the ball. They just want it, and Elkhart will finally down it at the 30-yard line. And that's where the Cougars will take over, 1:56 away from victory. Angelo DiCarlo, Bills Heating Sideline Report, and a question for you. I'm kind of leaning towards Brock Sinka as player of the game right now. What are your thoughts?
I was leaning towards Marshall Kmichek. I mean, he obviously led them on that drive for the touchdown. Great pass to Reese Lipchinsky for the touchdown. He got that big first down before Sinka's touchdown run, so he fought through it, plus all the elements of fighting back from strep throat a week ago. But I can see Sinka. He can go either way here.
I thought Reed Robinson had a great game. Bo Kmichek had a great game. Marshall Kmichek had a great game. But I like what Brock Sinka did down the stretch. His leadership, his ability to really carry the team on some of those runs, I think was huge.
We'll see what happens here in the final 1:56 as Robinson tries to get to the outside and is taken down after a loss of 3 on the play. Max Huckleberry a little slow to get up. And timeout by Elkhart. It's sponsored by Sanders and Pianowski with 1:45 to go. A reminder, next week we start the Indiana High School football tournament with quarterfinal action, and we'll go in Class 3A. The first time the 46 Road Show for football has ever gone to Benton as we check out Jimtown and Fairfield in a 3A clash. Jimmy's fell to Riley tonight. Fairfield with an easy win over Busco. 2 teams that love to run the football. Should be fun to watch. Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9.
And Fairfield just put in some money into their athletic facilities over there as well. Really invested in their programs.
They've got a very nice baseball field now. They've got a new press box that they're willing to put us in. And looking forward to that. As you see Casey McKim on the sidelines, his team looking to go to 7-2. Interesting matchup with Hobart next week at Amzie Miller Field. But this should give them some confidence going into that game.
I think they had confidence last week, I think, too. I mean, the score really didn't dictate that game last week against Penn, with Kamichek being a little ill and some of the things that happened in that game.
And Elkhart jumps offside and costs themselves 5 yards here. The 6th penalty against the Lions tonight.
One first down here will probably just about do it for the Cougars to run out the clock. Elkhart with only 1 timeout remaining.
Gives New Prairie now a 2nd and 7. And of course, Elkhart likely to use another timeout here after this play.
They're bringing everybody.
And it's Kamichek on the keeper, and Kamichek trying to get to the outside. Huckleberry throws him down, and a flag comes out. And we'll see what this is all about.
Looked like it was right on the tackle, so a lot of times what happens, that's a face mask. If that's going to be a 15-yarder.
And that'll likely be the ball game. It seems like it's only the 5-yard variety, but that'll be enough to pick up a first down, sponsored by New Age Baking Company. And you see it there as Max Huckleberry didn't mean to, but reached up and got the face mask as he was making the tackle.
Yeah, just the 5-yard variety, but like you said, enough for the first down.
And so a 1st and 10 from the 44. Elkhart with only 1 timeout left, and you would think that New Prairie could just go into victory formation here. But they're going to stay in the shotgun. Kamichek looking over to the sidelines.
No timeout was called on that play, so they can let the clock run.
And they will. He's going to try to bleed as much of this play clock as he can, and it's only at 20 right now, so they can take it below 1 minute before they have to snap it. And that's the savvy veteran leadership of a guy like Kamichek, too. Remember, we saw him make his first career varsity start in a sectional game against Plymouth. And that year, New Prairie had a pretty decent quarterback, and we kind of wondered what Casey McKim was doing. But he was setting the basis for future success.
He went ahead and took the delay of game instead of even running a play, just running it all the way down.
Well, with only 1 timeout remaining and they have 4 downs.
Yep.
New Prairie doesn't really have to take any risks. They don't have to pull the Miami Hurricanes here and try to run the ball up the middle of the field.
Run the ball up the middle and fumble, and next thing you know, you lose the game.
And so Bo Kamichek will go stand way back at the 25 outside your screen. And Marshall Kamichek will get in. Well, now Lapchinsky and Bo Kamichek trade places, but they'll get into the place for the victory formation. And Elkhart will not bother calling the timeout. And the New Prairie Cougars are going to come out of here with a Northern Indiana Conference victory tonight over Elkhart, running the record to 7-2. And for Elkhart, a season that started with a lot of hope and a lot of confidence sees the Lions fall to 3-6 and have to play Penn in the sectional in 2 weeks. And New Prairie doesn't have to take another snap. The play clock outdistances the game clock, and they'll stand there and celebrate and exchange pleasantries with the Elkhart Lions as they pick up a 16-8 win over Elkhart on senior night tonight. Lot to talk about in this one on our St. Joseph County Police Department postgame show. It will include our Raising Cane's Player of the Game and our Electrifying Play of the Game, and it all comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
the Cougar got the best of the Lion tonight in this jungle at Rice Field as New Prairie downs Elkhart by a count of 16-8. And we welcome you inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth for our St. Joseph County Police Department postgame show. New Prairie with a big comeback in the second half to win this one, Bo, and it just seemed like they ratcheted up the intensity a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The intensity in the second half was just much better for New Prairie. They opened up the passing game a little bit more in the second half to start it, which opened up the running game just a little bit more. I think it gave them confidence, and they got that momentum, and that's what's really turned in the second half.
And he had a touchdown and a key push on a first down late in the game. It helped Brock Cinca become our Raising Canes player of the game. He's standing by in the field with Angelo DiCarlo.
Well, Brock, it wasn't always pretty, but a win is a win. What a hard-fought victory for your team. Your thoughts?
It's amazing. I mean, we came in thinking that, we knew we could have beat this team, but it was going to be a dogfight with the weather and everything. We weren't going to be able to pass as much. But it really didn't affect us, to be honest. It was just a dogfight, and we love that stuff. And our offensive line really showed up in the second half and put the fist to the mouth and just absolutely destroyed them.
What changed in the second half? What happened at halftime that allowed your offense to emerge here in the second half?
The intensity, for sure. It was the offensive line. Something clicked in the locker room, and their intensity just was out of this world. They just want to hit you in the mouth and not help you up. That's what they wanted to do. Just pound them to the ground, play after play, and just score every single time.
When we talked earlier in the week, you spoke about the need for a victory coming off that loss to Penn. How critical was this one to get that momentum back going into the playoffs?
Oh, it was huge. Coming in with all this momentum, we got a win on our shoulders finally, and we know what we need to work on, but we have a lot to come through with this, and Hobart's got to prepare for us.
I was going to say, you got a big one next week against Hobart. Your thoughts on that one heading into it, a real challenging game to start sectionals?
Yeah, we believe the championship game is the first game. That's what it is. And we know Hobart is a very solid program, and it's going to be a dogfight all the way to the end.
Brock, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brock Cinca, our Raising Canes player of the game. Chuck and Bo, back to you.
All right, Raising Canes, one love. And one big play for Elkhart tonight was our electrical workers electrifying play of the game, and it happened on the second play of the game as Quinn Ross found Nathan Munson.
Yeah, it looked like Elkhart might score 30 to 40 tonight, but that was their only score of the night. Able to hit Munson up the middle, a couple defenders fell down, and quick score for Elkhart, but nothing else after that.
Yeah, the offense shut down after that. The only points Elkhart would get the rest of the game came on a safety after a bad snap over the punter's head. So the Lions fall to 3-6. They will face Penn in 2 weeks in the 6A sectional. As you heard Brock Cinca speak of, New Prairie and Hobart next week in the sectional opener. That should be a wild one at AMC Miller Field.
Well, as Brock Cinca said, that's going to be a dogfight.
So we look forward to the tournament beginning next week, and we thank our 46 crew who braved the weather tonight. Maybe most of them braved them better than Angelo DiCarlo, although Dean Korsmo was hiding in the truck as well. But the rest of our talented crew doing yeoman's work out there. And a reminder, we've got college football on the radio for you tomorrow at noon on 92.1 and 96.9. Purdue takes on number 3 Ohio State. On 103.1 FM, it's IU and number 2 Michigan. And then next Friday night, we begin the high school football tournament with a sectional quarterfinal from Benton as Jimtown visits Fairfield. We'll have it for you on the IHSAA live stream at 7 p.m. and on TV 46 Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Now from my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt and Angelo DiCarlo, Chuck Freeby, once again the final. New Prairie 16, Elkhart 8. So long from the city with a heart.